Yo, what up, fam? New dance, new words. It's just a little boogie to celebrate the flirts. You gotta move together like cattle in a herd, and willfully deny the truth when you see the curve. Step it to the left and a little to the right. Bend your arm a little bit and put it at your side. Stare off into space and make your face cross-eyed. Now limp around the room like you lost your fucking mind. Do the flirt shuffle. Yeah. Do the flirt shuffle. Do the flirt shuffle. Yeah. Yeah. A flirt has beliefs that are kind of absurd. They showed me their true colors, so I'm hitting where it hurts. Their leaders are con men and child predators, denying science and all that mankind has learned. They think the earth is flat and we live under a dome, like we on the bottom of a fucking giant microscope. The flirts should be banned from all technology that came from space travel, and give us an apology. Stupid dropout, low IQ losers. The simple definition of the Dunning-Kruger. That's why a janitor be trying to educate professors after getting educations from a YouTube lesson. You don't make time to study, but you make the time to bitch, and I don't give a fucking shit. I'll double down on that diss.
Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome in. Everybody who's watching this or watching the restream. Hopefully you're having a good night here. It took me a while to get on here, so yeah, a bit late, but getting some a few technical snags and difficulties, and also trying to improve my audio a little bit more. As well as my computer has up and decided it wants to do some sort of like massive update. It's only 8% in, so now it's done 100%, so I might actually want to reset here, but maybe hopefully things are smooth out a bit more here. Yeah, I was waiting for it to go through. Went from 8% to 100%. Windows, gonna love it. All right, so hopefully this doesn't up and reset on me. If it does, I'll get back on as quick as I can. But yeah, so let's go in here. So yeah, a few things happened this week. Hopefully I'm not gonna be on nearly as long as last time, because man, 6 hours, that was a bit, I'm not gonna try to cram as much stuff in this time. So all right, so let's have a quick look here. We're going to check out something just happened this week here. I think on the weekend, SpaceX launched another Dragon capsule into orbit, but this time it is going a circumpolar orbit. So instead of going around like normally, when they launch up, and then my example of globe. So normally they launch up from Florida here, right? And as they go with rotation of the Earth, and then they start, so they kind of come off, and they'll come up and do a parabolic arc, and then they'll go around the Earth, right? And they're using the turn of the Earth, the rotation of the Earth, to kind of help launch the vehicle and get a little bit of a boost, right? That's also why they tried to launch most rocket launches near the equator, right? Because the tangential speed of the Earth is greatest here as opposed to up here, because the Earth turns. You're not going to get that speed up here. So they try to go as close as they can to the equator. So obviously US, they got launched from just South Texas, close they can kind of get, and then they go over top of Florida and stuff like that. So that's why they do that. ESA, I think they launched kind of a rocket, and I've seen some of that. It didn't go so well because they're still working on launching their own rockets, and they I think they're more like kind of in this area here. Obviously Russia, they launch up here, and so they may not get as big of a boost. So they tend to kind of make it work with the Soyuz missions, but but yeah. So what's happening now is it's called the Fram 2. And this is the first time humans have done this, where they've launched off. When SpaceX launched, they launched from Texas there. And instead of going up and going around this way, they launched and they went this way, and they went down. They went down across under Antarctica, and they're doing this. And they're going to do this for about 5 days, I believe, if I remember correctly. So it's pretty cool. Got some really cool shots. So we're going to check that out real quick here, because I'm pretty sure this is going to make the Flat Earth community lose their fucking minds. They're going to be They're just gonna go shit crazy. Gonna claim it's CGI, claim it's fake, as you always do. Zero evidence, loads of claims. I always ask flat earthers to back up their claims, and so far, nothing. Have a cup of coffee here. Have a little look there. My wife had got me ages ago. There you go. And so this is on their spacewalk. Yeah, a little spaceman there on top of the space. So, all right, let's go here, folks. Let's check this out. Stop messing about. All right, so here we are. We're gonna check this out here.
There go the clamps.
So just a quick one on this. Now this is like the Dragon modules that they use to go back and forth to ISS, but it's they're kind of able to adapt them different a few different ways. One is they obviously can open up the nose cone, and they can have a coupler goes up to ISS, and then they can transfer stuff back and forth. Another way is you can actually put like this kind of dome sort of thing structure. I know if there's no freaking ape shit on this, but because it has to be sealed, it is a craft in space, right? Put this over top to maintain the environment inside the capsule, as it doesn't have enough gravitational pull to hold on to an atmosphere, right? So flares don't be going on over this freaking bullshit. And they're able to then go up into that without having to have a spacesuit on or depressurize the entire freaking cabin, like they did for the Polaris Dawn mission, in which they actually depressurized the entire cabin, and they all had to have their environmentally and sealed spacesuits on to be able to do the EVA, which they did on way out in the Van Allen belts, and that was to test how the suits would perform in vacuum of space, a near perfect vacuum. It's not a perfect vacuum. Yeah, there's still matter up there. There's still bits of atmosphere stuff out floating away, right? There's still technically the atmosphere is just so thin it's considered space. You have to put an arbitrary line somewhere, which is why you have the what do you call it? Kármán line. Sorry. Right, so all that out of the way. So it has a dome stand, and they have to put the spacesuits on, open the nose cone, and go have a look and do stuff like that. They put a dome, like this little thing underneath that when the nose cone opens up, that they can step outside and they can do observations and stuff, and still be able to breathe and live and don't have to have the suits on, right? So we're gonna check this out here, right?
Right, and that's
Hang on.
still the handle.
Whoa, what a perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Open up to Antarctica.
Yes.
Now let's go in.
Also right here. Sunrise.
Oh, look at the curvature there. Wow, gorgeous. And as you can see, there's no real distortion of that nose cone there. So yeah, it's not a not fisheye lens.
Cloudy, I think.
Sorry, Flurfs.
Yeah.
Because I cannot see much.
Yeah.
If it's a fisheye, you would see that
You know
warping. The lines up here would be warping
I
the
think
other
we
way.
are
They'd be
at,
trying to flatten out or bend the other
about
way.
100
It's not
degrees
fisheye lens, right? The curvature on this here in the middle of the screen on the fisheye lens.
Probably 15 minutes will be in Australia.
Nice. God, I've just got to move this momentarily.
Obviously, turn around like this because they are in microgravity. They call it.
There is.
I think the ram is about 400 and it's over 400 some kilometers above the surface of the Earth, which is It's just past with the ISSs. So ISS is about 250 miles. I think these guys are a bit higher up there, but they're closer to the
That's incredible.
300-mile mark. Like they're kind of in like just within that, just shy of 300 miles. So, but they're orbiting. Obviously, the orbit is different than ISS. They're looking at Antarctica right now. This one is a 6-minute video, quick one, but it's cool. The lines here are straight. Not a fisheye, not a fisheye lens. Let me go on and see that. But yes, we're starting to see curvature there.
I can use it as a stabilizing. Wow. Oh, that's a bizarre shot. That looks so alive.
They call it a spacewalk.
Now, one of the people on here, I think these are all civilians, or most of, yeah. And what it is it was some sort of rich billionaire, cryptocurrency guy, and he paid money on. I don't know if he paid money for these people himself, but definitely there's a crypto billionaire on there. He paid money to do this flight. So this is, if I remember correctly, there's nobody government or anything like this. These are all private citizens on here, and they so there's nobody working for the government, nothing like that. Let's see if it comes up here. All right, it's not saying. All right, we'll look it up here, but yeah, yeah.
And there's the nose called crazy.
As far as I can see, no human activity can be seen. Just white. This part is clear. This part cloudy.
It's unbelievable. You would not
Also believe that the Dragon capsule is fully, I think it's fully automated. Like it's got a pretty sophisticated computer system in this. So these guys are more along for the ride. They're more sightseeing, and this is when you're really rich, you can do shit like this. So this is it's all automated. Is the capsule is kind of doing its thing. It's meant to do. It's been programmed to do, and I imagine obviously SpaceX headquarters they can do certain little things. If there's something comes up, they can take control, stuff like that. But it's all being done this automated. So they're just kind of there for a ride and just doing their thing. Now they probably would have some training. Yeah.
So with the shadows can be seen, I don't feel that's ice. Maybe just a cloud.
It is just clouds. You can see it
Yeah,
here.
but
Once again, they are looking at
thin layer
Antarctica,
of,
flying over
cloud,
Antarctica,
maybe the ice.
and as you can very clearly see, there is no ice wall, nor is there lands beyond, nor is there firmament. Don't see any magical dome there. Sorry, flat earthers, but everything you claim has been debunked many countless times. I've been exploring Antarctica for 100 years, so
What's
time to come back to reality.
This look like ice below water, but really hard to see.
It could be thin clouds as well. I think that's what he's getting at. It does look like ice below water. It is getting into the Antarctic winter down there. So. Look at that curvature of the Earth once again. All right, so we're just gonna check this out here. Here we are. We have the I found the wiki for the Fram 2. The Fram 2 is an ongoing private human spaceflight mission that is being operated by SpaceX with the Crew Dragon spacecraft on behalf of an entrepreneur, Chung Wang. During the mission, Wang and all civilian crew, so it's correct, which is Junkie Mickelson, Reba Rogue, and Eric Phillips, were launched into a polar orbit. The first for a human spaceflight mission. During the 3 to 5 day mission, the crew will conduct scientific research. So they're still doing some stuff up there. So the mission commander is obviously is Chung Wang. He's his first space flight. We have Jannik Mikkelsen, who is Norwegian and British. We have Reba Roge, who is the German, and we have Eric Phillips, who's a specialist, and he's from Australia. He's also polar explorer, adventurer, polar guide, and private astronaut. Okay. So Chung Wang, Chinese-born Maltese cryptocurrency investor and entrepreneur. So he's the one I think actually funding this, or funding a portion of it. Jan Mikkelsen is a Norwegian cinematographer and film director who has worked in the field of virtual reality, cinematography, 3D animation, and augmented reality technology, focusing on fringe technology and combining traditional film production with new technologies. And Rebecca is an electrical engineer, robotic researcher, polar scientist, and private astronaut who is currently in space in the SpaceX Crew Dragon Resilience as part of the Fram 2 mission. She's the first female German astronaut. But they are all civilians. Nobody works for any government agency or anything. In fact, they are from, obviously, he's Chinese, Malta. I think I don't know that flag. Obviously, she's Norwegian, British, German, and Australian. So we're kind of covering good kind of globe there, aren't we? Wang was born in China but lives permanently in Svalbard, Norway, and since 2023 is a citizen of Malta and St. Kitts and Nevis through their Golden Visa programs. He wore the flag of Malta in his spacesuit during the flight. Wang will be in command of this mission. Mikkelsen will be the command of the spacecraft with the traditional operating duties given to a typical NASA commander. Mikkelsen was born in the United Kingdom, but is now a citizen in Norway. She wore a flag of Norway in a spacesuit during the flight. The mission is intended to study Earth's poles and their space environment. It will be a free flight mission with the Crew Dragon spacecraft of the which will be equipped with a panoramic cupola attached to the first flew in Inspiration 4. Initially, Crew Dragon Endurance was selected for this flight because it shares its name with Ernest Shackleton's Antarctic exploration vessel. Due to the changes to Crew Dragon manifest, however, Endurance was assigned Crew 10, and it was decided to fly Fram 2 using Resilience. The mission launched from Launch Complex 39A in the Kennedy Space Center on the 1st of April 2025 at 1:46:56 UTC, or the 31st of March, 9:46:50 p.m. EDT, local time of launch site. The mission is named from two in reference to succession of the Norwegian polar exploration ship Fram, the first to complete expeditions to both North Pole and South Pole between 1893 and 1912. The crew carried a piece of ship's peak decked to space. That's very cool. The mission entered low Earth orbit with an apogee of 413 kilometers, which is 257 miles, and a perigee of 202 kilometers, which is 126 miles, with polar retrograde inclination of 90.01 degrees, making it fly over both Earth's poles. Because the unique launch the software Dragon capsule was updated with a new abort scenarios that would propel the capsule away from the populated areas in Florida, Cuba, Panama, and Peru to make the water landing. That's the abort, just in case something went wrong on launch. It will aim to observe and study aurora-like phenomena such as Steve, the green fragments, and conduct experiments on the human body, including the first X-ray of a human in space. The crew will be also attempt to grow oyster mushrooms, the first mushrooms to grow in space. Roger plans a series of slow scan television image transmissions over amateur radio targeted for educational groups competing in an event called Fram to Ham. Dr. Christopher Combs, the Associate Dean in Research at the Kelsey College of Engineering and Integrated Design and the University of Texas in San Antonio, described the mission as a notch above a gimmick, but not exactly a groundbreaking milestone. With the planned experiments described as offering limited scientific value and able to conduct regardless of the flight path. However, for the crew members, each with ties to polar exploration, the mission holds personal significance. The mission is set to conclude with a splashdown in the Pacific Ocean, the first for a crew Dragon mission. While SpaceX Dragon 1 cargo missions previously landed in the Pacific, recovery operations shifted to the eastern U.S. in 2019 to expedite the return of astronauts and critical cargo to Kennedy Space Center. However, this adjustment had an unintended consequence. The trunk module jettisoned before re-entry was expected to burn up the atmosphere, yet at least 4 instances the junk debris the trunk debris being found on land were reported. Returning to Pacific Ocean splashdowns allows the trunk to remain attached longer and be directed towards a remote area of the ocean called Point Nemo, nicknamed the spacecraft cemetery, where any debris that survives re-entry will be unlikely to cause damage. That's why they're doing Pacific Ocean re-entries instead of the Gulf of America or Gulf of Mexico, depending on if you want to go with Trump's interpretation or not. So there you go. So yeah, it is an all first, yeah. So it's all civilian crew, and they are going over both poles, and it's supposed to last 3 to 5 days. It's very cool. Mission duration, obviously, the 1 day, 19 hours and 20 minutes in progress right now. They're going over top of our heads. Depends where you're at right now. I believe it takes about 40 minutes or so ish for it to complete one orbit north to south. The telescope's out, you might see it. Yes, some pretty cool images coming up of that. Right. So, something else that's going on in this flat Earth community here is the I don't know a lot about this, to be honest. I know a bit. Only what I've heard is more recently. It has to do with Mark Sargent is being sued for he's well not being sued yet, but he's been served a cease and desist letter by his former co-host and a few other former flat earthers. Is he keeps defaming them online. Asked them to stop, not to stop talking about flat Earth, but to stop lying about the particular people. Uh, Now, well, I'll check it out. So what I'm gonna do here, is I'm gonna check out MC Toon. He covered this a bit, so we're gonna check out his channel because I'm much rather give him the views than give it to Mark Sargent.
What do cults do when members of the cult escape the cult? Well, the existing members attack the escaping members. This is a common thing. It's well known if you look at the history of cults like Scientology, for example. When people have left, they've gotten attacked. And it's very common in cults. And there is a cult called Flat Earth that is very, very similar. You see, in December, I went down to Antarctica with several other people, including 4 flat earthers. And since then, well, when we were in Antarctica, we tested an important part of flat Earth. Flat Earth requires that the sun never be due south of you when you are in Antarctica. That's because they say that the sun is doing a circle around the middle, and Antarctica is the outside perimeter. And there's no way, if the sun is in the middle, you could look away from the middle and see the sun. Well, we saw the sun due south. I live streamed the sun due south. And what did the flat earthers do? Well, one of them who was on the trip, Jaron Campanella, well, he has had a change of heart and he has given up flat earth. In fact, he has gone on a rampage against flat earth. It's been absolutely fantastic. But since then,
Yes, Jaron is tearing the flat Earth to shreds. And you know what? I didn't know a lot about Jaron Campanello. I didn't watch a lot of his stuff. I started out more my anti flat Earth, well, my flat Earth debunking journey started on TikTok about 2 years ago, and just obviously just recently, if I started doing this channel on here, I find I've always kind of wanted to do more YouTube anyways because I find YouTube is just the platform seems to work better for me, and TikTok they're pretty bad with their censorship and stuff like that. You can't say anything that even looks, that even sounds somewhat. If they think you're being, it's really stupid, but whatever. Sometimes the flips could say some horrible things to you, but if you say one thing, I'll call him an idiot, then it gets taken down. It's really dumb. But yeah, what I've seen of Jaron, obviously he was in that Netflix special, the Beyond the Curve, and I honestly think, looking back, and I know that was a few years ago, that planted the seed. Now, obviously, he didn't really he tried to dispel it. He even tried to kind of shake it off and make excuses for the results. And I believe somebody said he tried to do it again, but he never actually posted results again. But looking at all the videos, and obviously MC2 himself has covered it, and he did some of the math, and he showed that what Jaron had got for the distance and everything was spot on and validated the globe. Obviously, Jaron knew that it falsified the flat Earth. He had done all the math, and what he should have seen that would have supported the flat Earth and validated it. He never got the results, and the results he got was ones that were closer and actually validated the globe. I do think that was the start. I think that was where it planted a little seed, and he kept going because it was not enough for him. Just to, he probably sounds like what I've heard, or I've seen, he made excuses. He tried to make excuses like, oh, this went wrong, and this went wrong, or I didn't have that in the right place, or I needed it again, and or it was Netflix. They twisted it and made it look bad for me. Whatever. I honestly do think that was planted the seed. And then when the final experiment, we went down and Jaren seen the 24-hour sun, which even before he went down to Antarctica, he was in Punta Arenas in Chile, and the fact that they could see the sun rise southeast, right, but south of there, east, come up over the horizon, set southwest, and then you could see this haze go across and like never quite go dark, go across the horizon, come round and go over top, and then see the sun rise from the spot over again. And then right then there, and you can look on the Final Experiments website. You can see them doing this way back in December. Him, Austin Whitsitt, Elizabeth, whatever how her name is pronounced, went, oh dear, yeah, okay. And they kind of, then they knew that when they go down to Antarctica, they kind of knew what they're going to see. They knew they're going to see the 24-hour sun. They already had, the fact that the sun rose southeast of them, southeast, and it set southwest, already falsified the flat Earth, because that could never happen. That would mean that it went south of the Tropic of Capricorn, which demonstrably we know that doesn't happen. Over the Tropic of Capricorn, you can watch the sun's always like when at the summer solstice, it goes straight overhead, right? And when we get the northern summer solstice, it goes over the Tropic of Cancer, and we can see it goes directly overhead over the tropics, go all the way around the Earth. So we know that this does happen. That's the northern part. It goes was 90 degrees zenith above our heads. It's on the Tropic of Cancer at the summer solstice, and the southern summer solstice, it goes directly over the head, the Tropic of Capricorn. I'm sorry, it never goes further. Thank you. Not used to talking this much on this, so. But yeah, so they kind of already knew, and then going down there was just validated and cemented it, at least with Jaren. But now Jaren is like, when he came back, well, that really cemented the fact he knew that his flat Earth model was wrong. But really kind of took it the next stage over is the reaction of the flat Earth community. This community he's been in for 10 years, friends, people he trusted, people he thought, he was talking to. He thought he'd come back, and he thought these were all truth seekers. These are people just wanting the truth. They didn't believe the globe was right. It wasn't the truth. Their questions. They came back, and they were horrible, horrendous people. Now, some of that was down to Jaren and some of the things he had been preaching and kind of pushing on a lot of his followers for the last decade. But some of it was completely and totally uncalled for. He even gets it this day. And I think that's what that has done, is to spur Jaren on more to push back even harder against the flat Earth. He's shifted gears. He's taken all that energy he did against the globe, and now he's backed up by facts, evidence, observations, and science. And he went from having a little bit of, maybe like you could twist it and change it a little bit and claim it's proof, but really deep down, probably he didn't know it wasn't, to having demonstrable, empirical, validated evidence that could be repeated easily, backed by scientific community and people who know what they're doing, with this really strong, true evidence that the globe has, because it's validated. He's now using and has all like this. He's gone from using like a knife in his observation, to try to fight against this, to now he's got an entire army with the latest, greatest weapons, and you know, ICBMs and stuff like that. So he's gone from trying to fight and bear the struggle to now having the backing of everything, and now he's using the full force he has to come at the flat Earth. Pardon me, using the globe. So yeah, but he's because of all that he's gone through, he understands the flat Earth community probably better than a lot of us, and he knows how to kind of hit them where it hurts. So it's quite awesome. Sorry, kind of ramble on a bit there, but that's kind of what I think of Jaren. I do support his journey, and it seems like he seems to be a lot more of a happier person. That's what I think. So back to
And
Mark
several
Sargent.
other members have also given up flat Earth. They've escaped flat Earth, like Robbie Davidson, Paul on the Plane, and Patricia Steer, for example. These are some well-known flat earthers that had not been particularly active lately, but they had a long history in flat Earth. There have been quite a few others. I've covered them on my channel. I will continue to cover flat earthers that exit. If you are a flat earther that's exited, and if you would like to say something, record something, just a little, or at least just say, I'm out, then send me an email, mctoon@mctoon.net. I'd love to feature a little video of you, or just let people know that that you have successfully escaped. Now,
I would like to explain the same sort of thing. Thinking flat earthers, if they want to come into my channel, I know my channel is only tiny, but perhaps you'll do a brother a favor. Any ex flat earthers want to come on? I wouldn't mind really, having a little chat and just kind of picking your brain a little bit, and yeah, and finding out a bit of your journey and just having a little chat. I think that'd be quite nice. As I said, I know I only have a small channel, but I'm working at trying to grow it. But yeah, if you want to send me an email, or it's the best way. You can either message me on TikTok, which is Curious UK on TikTok, or you can email me at shinobiwarrior83 at gmail.com. That's the email. It's actually on this YouTube channel. I have it linked on here. So I do check that on a daily basis, but either one, or you can find me on X, which is Curious UK on X, and send me a message through that, and we can set up a time. I try to go live on Wednesdays and Sundays. Not always do I get on, unless if I have something set up, then I'll try to slot that in and make it work. But those are the days that I tend to try to get on the most. But yeah, anybody wants to come on who's an ex-flat earther that wants to chat a little bit, I would love to have a little chat and kind of hear your story a bit. So let's move on.
The cult members that are still in are freaking out because what are they doing? Their cult is falling apart. And one of the big cult leaders, one of the longest standing, is Mark Sargent.
Mark's favorites, we're having iced applesauce with our...
It's not. I mean, it was one of my favorites when I was young.
Well, you like it now, too.
All right.
Now, Mark Sargent had Patricia Steer on his show as a co-host for many years, so they were good friends. And in fact, Mark Sargent and Patricia Steer were featured together in the 2018 documentary Behind the Curve. Well, she is the one of them that have left. And since then, Mark and several others have been attacking her and several other members that have left, specifically Robbie Davidson and Paul on the Plane. So Mark and several others have made very specific claims about it in their assertions, in their attacks against it. And, well, the three of them were not taking it lightly. So they sent out a cease and desist letter through their lawyer to 4 different people. Mark Sargent is one of them. Flat Earth Dave, or Dearth, is another. And 2 others that have yet been unnamed. But I have a guess on one of them. I'll put it on the screen here, encrypted with AES encryption. And then after it's known, I'll reveal the key. and see if I'm right. So last Friday, there was a live stream on a channel called Ironworks 92,000. And on that stream, Mark Sargent was, well, the
I believe Ironworks 92,000. Ironworks is somebody who associates a lot with Mikey Smith, and is on Mikey Smith's channel quite a bit from what I have seen. He's also had interactions with the Drunk Debunk show on that as well. Just a little quick thing on Mark Sargent I found interesting is Mark Sargent is born in 1969. So that would make him 12 years older than me, so that would make him in his mid-50s. And he still lives with his mommy, and mommy still makes him sandwiches and dinner and stuff for him. Which it's nice to be close to your mom. My mom passed away 4 years ago. But I mean, for crying out loud, man, you're in your 50s, you still live with your mommy. And she's making you dinner. It's not like you're looking after your mom. Your mom's looking after you, Mark. So, wow. Yeah, I just found that really interesting. Guys like older than me, and his mommy still makes him sandwiches. It's a bit sad, actually. For Mark. Alright, Flat Earth is all he has.
cease and desist letter was reviewed, was brought up, and then Mark Sargent showed up and was invited on, and he addressed the issue, talked about the cease and desist. But before we get into that, I'd like to go over, I'll show you on screen here what the actual cease and desist letter says. First of all, it says that they have been alleging that the three of them committed SEC violations related to Axion. He has asserted, well, several of them have asserted that they lost large sums of money in this Axion venture, and that they were desperate for funds, and stating that they were pressured by authorities into announcing flat earth beliefs in exchange for protection from legal consequences relating to the SEC. Now, before we go on, I need to explain the Axion thing. I'll do it really quick. Axion was a cryptocurrency type thing that the three of them, Paul on the Plane, Robbie Davidson, and Patricia Steer, were involved in promoting a couple years ago. They had a channel, a YouTube channel, where they did some weekly videos promoting the idea of Axion. They did not get paid by Axion in any particular way. They made an investment. I don't think it went bad. It seems to me like they profited on the investment, but Axion didn't turn out to be a good venture in the end, even though they didn't really have any problems with it. And there has been no investigation by the SEC into it that I'm aware of. It seems that this is just an invented thing by the people, by Mark Sargent, Flat Earth Dave, and the others in these accusations that they're making. So let's move on here. We see, with respect to Patricia Steer, maintaining that she received a car in exchange for turning away from being an active member of the Flat Earth community. Yeah, that's right. Patricia Steer recently got a new car. These types of things happen. It's normal for people that have normal lives to get new cars on occasion. So asserting that she is getting paid by...
Sorry about that.
You know, the government,
Internet
the
sucks.
nameless, faceless they, is something that the cease and desist is saying you need to stop doing that. And then finally, contending that Robbie Davidson, who hosted multiple Flat Earth conventions, Robbie Davidson accepted thousands of dollars in order to allow Logan Paul and Jake Bird from Jimmy Kimmel Live to attend separate Flat Earth conferences for the sole purpose of making hit pieces against flat Earth. So that is what is being listed as the things that the cease and desist is identifying. And what is it that they're asking to desist from doing? Well, very specific. Stop making the claims, remove content that contains the claims, and then issue a public retraction. Now, did any of that have anything to do with preventing people's First Amendment rights of talking nonsense about flat Earth? Of course not. This was stop making those types of accusations about us. Nothing to do with preventing anybody from talking about the stupid idea of flat Earth. Right? So, how...
Yeah, that seems like from everything there, it was just simply they're making false claim, personal accusations and false claims about those individuals. And they're being told to stop making such outrageous, outlandish personal claims and accusations against them. Nothing to do with what shape the planet is, stuff like that. It was it seemed like it was more accusations, financial and stuff like that. So yeah, I think this is going to be something like Mark Sargent is going to try to flip. But let's go.
Did Mark Sargent spin this? See, Mark Sargent is a master manipulator. He tries to put on a face of the nice guy, the kindler, gentler flat earther. But in reality, he is a deeply manipulative person, extremely manipulative. But let's have a look to what he says about what he thinks, what he wants his echo chamber to think the cease and desist was about.
I am not picking on him. It's like, look, I mentioned, like, when you come at somebody with the carrot and the stick, I'm one of the few people who's like, look, I never got married, never had kids. Leverage against me is tough.
Like a true cult leader, Mark Sargent twisted the actual intent of the letter to be completely different than reality. This is possible because he is in an echo chamber. He protects the echo chamber. He doesn't let people that are contrary. He doesn't let people that might challenge him on. I've called into his call-in show. I got booted right away. If you go into his live chat and you start typing in the live chat anything contradictory, you are banned from.
Oh, it seems like somebody who doesn't value free speech or can't handle a little bit of pushback. Because maybe he deeply down knows that the flat Earth is a sham.
He purifies the echo chamber. He will not allow people to challenge him. I've reached out to him by email. I've reached out to him by phone to invite him to come on my show and have a conversation. He doesn't answer. So, safe in the knowledge that nobody in his echo chamber will calling out for intentionally misrepresenting the context. Now, the question you might be asking is, will Mark be adhering to the cease and desist? Well, let's see what he says.
Which is why this lawsuit, if it actually happens, is such a terrible idea. And I'll talk about it on my Tuesday podcast.
Well, I take that to mean that Mark has no intention to cease or desist in talking about this topic. In fact, coming up on Tuesday on his show, he intends to specifically talk about it. So, I don't know. I will be updating on these events here, but now there's more. There's more to what he said in this particular interaction here. Very specifically, he made accusations about me, some rather disgusting ones, and he was again. So this,
I don't know if anybody's. I've just seen something about MC2 talking about this. It's yeah, it does seem like they're alluding to something very nefarious, and it could be they're towing the line is what they're doing, and where they could end up getting in some trouble. MC2 would have a pretty strong case if they overstep that line, then they're going to be in a lot of legal trouble. We'll see.
this was last Friday. Today is Sunday. Today, he was on another show and he doubled down and expanded on the accusations about me and about what he said, well, whether or not he's going to be ceasing or desisting. I will cover that in a future video here. Be sure to subscribe, because there will be some fireworks happening this week, because if he has no intention of ceasing or desisting, there will be the next step happening, it seems. I am anxious to see what happens here. Mark Sargent, the master manipulator, is going to be facing things that he doesn't like to face. You see, flat earthers, they generally don't have any accountability. They don't have any responsibilities. They can just get on there and say whatever they want. Where people who have real life jobs, where people who are engineers or surveyors or rocket scientists, if they do something wrong, if they have a position that's incorrect and they take action on it, there are consequences. But flat earthers don't have consequences. And so Mark is used to no consequences. Well, maybe there will be some consequences coming up. So be sure to follow along.
Right, we're going to check out Journalism covered something about 19 hours ago about Mark Sargent. So check that out.
There was a moment when he was doing a live stream that caught everybody's attention.
Listen what he
when
says here.
said, well, if I go down there and I see the 24-hour sun, I'm going to have to re-examine everything I know about the flat earth map.
How dare I? Without any question, it was very easy this week to pick the biggest dirtball that there is, telling lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. What he is,
dirtball of the week, Mark Sargent. Yeah, could be.
Is somebody who's very connected to the flat earth. Obviously, if the flat earth goes away, who is Mark Sargent? He's got nothing else. So he's got to hold on very tight.
That's what I said. I honestly, I think that's what it is. A man in his mid-50s, and seems like all he has for him, and the only community he has that's accepted him is the flat earth reject community. So you can kind of see where he's pretty a bit of a grift. Even if he knows, you can see stuff that's that proves that the earth is a globe, which is like all the physics and everything. Then Mark Sargent will just not run away from it, because he knows that it falsifies his ideologies.
And says the most.
And also, he'll lose his community and lose who he is. I think he's probably one of these flat earthers that he's made the flat earth all his whole entire being and his whole and who he is. So, yeah, it's rather sad, really. I mean, there's so much more out there. There's a big, bold world out there, full of all sorts, of possibilities. Travel around the globe and see all the beauty that's out there, but flat earthers choose to stay in their mom's basements and conspirize and make up BS, and then watch NASA videos and claim that they're all fake and CGI, even if they're done in the 1950s and 60s, where CGI was invented.
Most ridiculous things. We're going to listen to a little bit of it here.
People have been accused in the truther community of being shills all the time. I have been accused of being a shill nonstop. No more, mind you, after what's happened recently.
I've been accused of a shill nonstop the whole time, but no more, mind you, because of what's happened recently. See, he's so happy that he gets to push the shill tag on his friends.
There was a moment when he was doing a live stream that caught everybody's attention.
Listen what he
when
says
he
here.
said, well, if I go down there and I see the 24-hour sun, I'm going to have to re-examine everything I know about the flat earth map.
How dare I? How dare I? Mark, go around and tell more people about how I said, oh, if my model is disproven, then I'm going to have to rethink my model.
And I may abandon it entirely. And,
wow.
And the chat room just exploded. It's like,
and shouldn't that be a problem? Shouldn't the chat room be like, good, that's how we get to the truth?
What are you talking about? You're freaking Jeranism. Why would you say something like, you haven't even gone on the trip yet?
So that what they're saying is that once you have entered the flat earth, tell me this is not a cult, and you start preaching on behalf of the cult, you're not allowed to leave. You can't leave. You must stay there and be cult representative all times. If you did.
Yeah, because flat earth is a cult. it is 100% a cult. If you look at how flat earthers act and how flat earthers treat people who decide to leave the flat earth community, or even watch to see how they treat people who question any of their beliefs and ideologies, then you just watch they go really, really feminist. Like they become really, really horrible people really fast. It's insane. I mean, I even put out a challenge before the final experiment, which was in the middle of December last year. I put out a challenge as 100% backing this up. This just before I had a YouTube channel, but if you can check out my my TikTok. I said if the final experiment, if they find that there's no 24-hour sun down there, and it doesn't, and it falsifies the globe, I will delete all of my flat Earth debunking content right away, and I will start to support the flat Earth. And I meant that. And there's many globers, people people that believe in the globe, that debunk the flat Earth ideology, called indoctrination. I said the same exact thing. They said, look, if the final experiment goes down there, that was how confident the glober community were about the final experiment. They're that confident that they were willing to put the money where the mouth is, or the channels where the mouth is, and go, look, if the globe is falsified, then we'll support the flat Earth. But not a single flat earther would do the same thing, except perhaps Jeranism. Not a single flat earther was willing to, and I even put it up. I tagged flat earthers in it, and I said, look, and I talked to them and I said, look, if you're so confident that the final experiment is going to prove the flat Earth, then take up the challenge. But commit to that if they find evidence that supports the globe, that you will take down your flat Earth content or delete your channel, whatever you want to do. I wasn't going to stick them to anything. They could keep the channel, but take down the flat Earth content, delete it all, like I was willing to do, and fully admit, put a statement out saying that you were wrong and that Earth is a globe. And not a single flat earther anywhere would commit to do that. Which what it shows right there is that not a single flat earther truly believes in the flat Earth. Not a single one is willing to falsify their model, try test their model. All they do is, the flat earthers don't test the flat Earth. What they do is they deny the globe. They're not really flat earthers out there. They're globe deniers. They're just simply people who deny science, doesn't deny truly measured observations, and deny reality. That's what all they are. They're not flat earthers. They're just simply truth and reality deniers. They're globe deniers. That's all they are.
Dare say you're going to go look at observations and you might change your mind. He just acted like that was the end of the world.
So he goes down there with two other people of ours. One is Austin Whitsitt, and another is a woman named Lisbeth Acosta. And along with 5 Globers.
Listen to this part.
Expensive trip. We still do not know to this day. I mean, yeah, Will Duffy was spearheading the thing, but it wasn't his money.
It was absolutely his money. Mark, you cannot just tell lies. You have no evidence, no receipts, nothing but the fantasy in your fucking dumb head. Go back to playing pinball. You can't just lie in front of everybody anymore. You're doing dangerous things. Telling people that Patricia Steere got a car for lying about the shape of the Earth is dangerous. Do you give a shit at all? It's dangerous. I just wouldn't give out Edward Hetry's photo with his family because I'm like, oh, that could be dangerous. I don't even know the guy. I don't even like him. He's a liar. Patricia was your partner for 10 years.
Very curious to know where the money came from. We still don't know.
The money came from Will Duffy. Dumb shit.
But it was pushing $300,000 for the.
What was pushing?
So what, the flat earthers always ask this stupid ass fucking question because they think nobody had like a career or a life before for getting into either flat Earth or getting into the or debunking flat Earth. Will Duffy had made a lot of money from previously being an investment banker or a financial advisor, he made some good money. He obviously made some good investments, or gave some good advice, because people came to him. Now, obviously, some things went wrong. That's where you get some of the ones where there's the lawsuits. So what you get with the lawsuits is that you get a financial advisor is if you happen to give some bad advice that didn't work out the way somebody wanted to, they take you to court, and because they want their money back. If you give good advice, then they're happy. So you had a few that went through that. Some people, maybe some of his stuff that he thought would work out didn't work out so well. Things flipped on him. Shit happens. It's not perfect, and it came back on him. Another big deal, right? My wife's just messaging me. Just give us a second here. Sorry about that. My wife was just asking a question about some parcels. All right. But Will Duffy had made a lot of money. I think that he wrote a book, he did some other stuff before he became pastor. Before he decided to do this final experiment, he had a whole really lovely big nest egg kind of set aside of money he'd made, and he decided that he wanted to use this money that he had to go down to Antarctica and debunk the flat Earth, or at least to test it. He was willing to go down there and test his thing. And he tells a story that he has a really good friend of his, believes Earth's flat. He's going back and forth to her a bit, trying to kind of bring her back to reality. And he decided that he's invested quite a bit of time talking to this person, trying to figure out why they believe in this indoctrinated ideology. And he decided, you know what, I want to do this. And he decided to come up with this whole thing. He obviously seen that a debate between his two pastors, Dean Odell and the other fella, and they happened to mention that. I think Dean Odell said, "Look, 24-hour sun doesn't exist in Antarctica. We can't go there." But and he said something like, "How about this? How about we get the money together? We go down to Antarctica. We book a trip, because there's trips go down there, and we could look and see if 24-hour sun's there. 24-hour sun's there during this time. Then the flat Earth is falsified. If the 24-hour sun's there, flat Earth is falsified. If the 24-hour sun isn't there when it should be there in the summertime, southern summertime, then the globe is falsified, and it proves his thing. So at least words wise, he's willing to back up his claim. And when it came down to it, when he got offered the free trip, he ran away like a lot of other flirters, except for when Jaren. Like Blair Dave, same thing. Blair Dave was offered it, he ran away too. I think also Nathan Oakley was offered somebody who was willing to pay for a strip for him. That wasn't Will Duffy, and Nathan Oakley ran away too. He didn't want to do it because he'd give up the grift. But yeah, the whole thing of Flat Earthers don't get is the fact is that Will Duffy had his own money. He had a big chunk of money. He was well off. He was doing well. Still probably is doing fairly good enough. He had enough money to set aside. He decided that's what he wanted to spend his money on. Rich people spend money on sometimes weird things that you or I wouldn't spend money on. Means fuck all.
300 grand. What was?
Trip. It's 35,000.
300 grand would mean that it was 30,000 for 10 people. Did Duffy pay for 10 people?
$1 a head to go down. The reason why no one's gone down there in the last decade, on pro or against flat Earth, it's just
it wasn't 300,000. I mean, Will Duffy paid for McKeegan, Dave McKeegan. He was a Glober. Initially, it was that Will Duffy was going to pay for himself, one Flat Earther, and one Globe Earther. Will Duffy paid for Dave McKeegan. First Glober offered to go down. Dave jumped at the opportunity. Went, yes, I would want to go. So he jumped at it, paid for him. And then Jeranism, I think, was the second or third Flat Earther that was offered it. And then Jeranism, with the conspiracy mind, decided that he wouldn't go down unless he could take another Flat Earther with him, because they had this idea that they might try to, take his life, or he might go missing, or something nefarious would happen from a pastor and a couple other, a fella, but whatever. So even though at one point Will Duffy said, okay, fine, which can have my spot, I won't go. But then Will Duffy was able to release all the funds that he decided that no, he was going to pay for himself, Austin Whitsitt, and Jaron Campanella, and Dave McKeegan to go down. So that's who he covered. So he covered himself, McKeegan, Whitsitt, and Jaron. So he covered 4 people. MC Toon paid for himself. He crowdfunded. I think Critical Think. He actually just paid for his own money. He had money saved aside from retirement. I think he just pulled a bunch of money out of his retirement. He paid to go down himself, and I think he's trying to kind of crowdfund and ask people to help him recover that money. And then Elizabeth, it was one of those golden ticket ones. Somebody offered to say that they would pay for Flat Earther to go down, and Elizabeth was the one who got nominated, and so somebody else paid for her. So Will Duffy paid for 4 people. That's 30,000 a head. That's 120,000, isn't it? My math might be wrong. 30. Yeah, 120. So 120,000, not 300,000. So not even half of what Mark Sargent's claiming.
Just ridiculously expensive. Plus, it's miserable.
Now, listen to what he says here. This is where you realize that Mark Sargent should have no audience.
I mean, you have to actually sleep in a tent on the snow. It's awful. I turned it down. It was awful. And plus, for me,
So Mark Sargent didn't even think to look into Union Glacier, where they're going, and know that it wasn't sleeping in a tent on the snow. He's an idiot. See, Flat Earthers don't do any research. They don't look into stuff. So yeah.
the Antarctic sun, which is difficult to explain to people anyway.
So he makes his determination of whether something is important or not based on whether or not people will understand it. So he's like, oh, people don't even understand the 24-hour sun. Who cares?
Didn't mean anything at all to me because 1 out of every 10.
What do you mean?
Look, the 24-hour sun isn't hard. Earth is at a 23.4 degree drift tilt. Obviously, let's say the camera is the sun. Here is Antarctica. Return it at that tilt. You can still see Antarctica the whole time. Not hard. You orbit around the sun, orbit around, come here, 24-hour sun. Here's Arctic up here. So 23.4 degree tilt. And you'll still see, sorry, I'm around a bit. I should get globe here. And you can still see the northern part. Remember, the sun is much bigger than the Earth, and it is 93 million miles away, so you have a lot of range of, you see it from a lot of different angles, right? So, yeah. And it lights up half the Earth at all times, right? And during that same time, down here, Antarctica, 24 hours darkness.
I mean, it doesn't
And
mean
vice
anything at all
versa
to you.
for vice versa for the North. When the northern hemispheres in winter is tilting away, 24 hours darkness. Anything north of the 60 degrees.
Most important thing in the world that one map that is the current standing belief of the world can explain the whereabouts of the sun at all times. Do you understand that? Okay, so if it's just not important to you, then neither is getting the flat earth pushed in front of the globe. Because anybody who actually thought that flat earth would become the default belief system must realize that in order to do so, it must explain the world better than the globe. So if the globe says, hey, we know what the sun's doing, we can pinpoint it at any time, and the other's like, we don't make maps, we don't have models, we don't have claims, we don't have suns. Do you think that that's worth you talking every week about, Mark?
Interviews, it's like, what's the weakest point in flat earth? I go, probably the Antarctic sun. Because, if it's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, it can't be just one light source. There's something else going on there.
Oh, did you hear that? He just said, if there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, which there is, then there must be another light source. So congratulations, flat earthers. You are now still penises. You're still little penises, which if you don't know that spell, it's Fenis, and it stands for flat earthers not including the sun. Okay, because they can't explain it, so just give them that title. They are little limp penises.
But it doesn't really matter because we don't know what's going on in the sky
we do know what's going on in the sky. There's something called the sun. It's got a very known orbit, and we know exactly where it is. We can tell you what your sun sign was when you were born, Mark. How would that be possible? How would we know where the sun was 50, 60 years ago? How would we know that? Weird.
We're not up there, and the sky doesn't prove the ground.
Nobody said the sky proves the ground. You're just making statements that are dumb. The orbit of the sun must be explained on any map that they give us, or it's not the map of where we live.
So who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
And again, the average person.
This is great. This is an expose of our best top guy just on the radio, just saying things don't care. We don't care about observation.
The fact is, don't. Okay, you see this. The sky doesn't prove the ground. I like to say that because the sky, debunks or falsifies the flat Earth. Now, the thing is, though, the movement of objects in the sky in relation to how you're standing and how things on the ground are does prove the shape of the ground. And it's quite easy if you look at star rotations in the northern hemisphere compared to the southern hemisphere and star rotations with standing and looking straight up at the equator. That can only be explained on a sphere orbiting, right? Now, you want to say, okay, geocentric and all that, and everything's orbiting around us. You could say that if there's maybe everything is orbiting around us, then it still requires a globe, though. You can't have flat plane. Southern star rotations and the rotations at the equator, where it goes straight up and down in the middle, and then you can see one side. If you look north, you can see how the rotation is in a counterclockwise arc around the center point. If you look south, it's in a clockwise around the center point. That only can be explained on a globe, right? A flat Earth, that would not work. So does the motion of things in the sun and in the sky, can you use that to help prove kind of the shape of what you're standing on? 100% yes, it can. The sunrise and sunset, does that prove that there's something obviously obstructing the sun? The sun doesn't change angular size as much as flat earthers claim it does. Use a proper solar filter, watch it happen. It doesn't change angular size as much as they can claim all they like. It's false. I've done this test myself. It doesn't change. Right. How the sun rises, where it rises, where it sets at different points of the year, falsifies the flat Earth, especially the southern hemisphere when the sun rises and sets south of the tropics. Falsifies the flat Earth. That doesn't work. Obviously, you got the 24-hour sun in the north that can work on the flat Earth, but the 24-hour sun in the south cannot work on the flat Earth whatsoever. Different orbits of the moon, like let's say eclipses. Eclipses falsifies the flat Earth. How the eclipse happens falsifies the flat Earth. The shape on the moon, solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, is impossible on a flat Earth because what's blocking the moon? It can't be the Earth because the sun and the Earth rotate, spin around the top. So what's blocking it? Now they claim it's a black sun that can only be seen when the eclipse only can be seen twice a year, and that's it. But never seen ever again. Doesn't block any stars. Doesn't block anything else. nobody knows. Nobody's going to prove it's there. It's just only shows up magically when needed and then disappears. So a lot of flat earth believes in magic. But yeah, the eclipses, the solar eclipse, they say isn't the moon, but yet if you have a total solar eclipse and then have it take a shot with a camera, this has been done last year. Last year in April when they had the solar eclipse in the States, and a long exposure where you can see a lot of the stuff going on the sun, kind of around the moon, because it was like the ring of fire. It wasn't a total solar eclipse, but enough that you could actually see it was the moon. That you could see all the craters, just like how you see the moon. So that's that's been proven last year, and before that too. Yeah. So you can see the moon, the sky doesn't prove the shape of the ground you're standing on, but the movement of the objects in the sky, 100% do prove what we're standing on. The flat earthers don't want to admit that, and they try to usually run away from anything celestial observations because it completely starts to unravel the flat earth very, very quickly, and they can't explain any of them. That's why you ask them about stuff of the sun, and they go, "Oh, we don't know. We don't even know what it's made of." The moon, "Oh, we've never been there. We don't know what it's made of." So I can't. I'm not going to talk about that because it's just they run away and gish gallop from it as fast as they can because just the flat Earth just can't explain any of it. It crumbles, but the globe can. So if you look at the two and go, which one? Well, the globe can explain all this stuff. The flat Earth can't. They just go, we don't know. We don't know. Magic maybe, but we don't know. Well, then the globe's a better model. It can explain it, and it works perfectly, and it can make predictions the flat Earth can't. Moving on.
Observations. Why? Well, because the observation leads to a globe. So discount it completely.
99% of all flat earthers that get into flat earth don't get into it because of the sun.
Okay, and that's a mistake then. Okay, for those of us who have been here from the beginning, which, by the way, Paul on the plane, Robbie Davidson, Patricia Steer, myself, Nick Havoc, we all remember the beginnings, and we all knew about the 24-hour sun. Do you understand that we knew that the flat earth cannot be true unless there is a setting sun in Antarctica? If the sun circles people down there, then we knew what that meant. So it took us a while to get the evidence because it's harder than you think to get down there and do that. But when we got it, everyone should just say, oh, okay, it's legit. Or if you don't believe it, take somebody up on their challenge. I think MC Toon's trying to challenge somebody. He's going to put money in escrow. You guys will both go and then they'll pay for each other's trip. We'll listen to these.
Most of them get into it because...
Yeah, MC Toon, just speak on that real quick. MC Toon is offering, he will put $100,000 in escrow. And then obviously... So, and then he says the flat earther, $100,000 in escrow, or even $200,000. If $100,000 is not enough for you, he's willing to put $200,000 in escrow. So a company that can hold on to the funds and stuff like that. So, and then they can drop a contract between the two people, and that they'll both agree on. The company, be an escrow company, whatever, somebody who's holding it, it's independent, doesn't give a crap who has the money, right? And if the terms of the contract are met, then whoever's obviously both go down to Antarctica, and the big thing is obviously watch the sun. Do a same trip that the final experiment did. So down to the Union Glacier in beginning in the middle of December. If they see 24-hour sun and you stand there and watch for 24 hours, go down there for 2 days, whatever. Whether dependent, they see 24-hour sun, then the flat earther loses. They lose $100,000, right? And obviously both of them pay for the trip to go down there themselves. Whoever wins gets $100,000, which means you get the trip covered plus an extra $70,000 in the pocket. Right? It's about $30,000 trip. Vice versa, if they don't see 24-hour sun sets, which is not predicted on the globe, then the flat earther, whoever was flat earther, they get $100,000, which means the trip's paid for, and they got $70,000 in their back pocket. So far, not a single flat earther will take him up on this offer, and I don't think anybody ever will. So, but the offers are out there. People are willing to do it.
of long distance photography.
I see people are willing to do. I mean, flat earther, globe earthers are willing to put their money where their mouth is, and challenge to have their the globe model falsified, but also to falsify the flat Earth model, and that scares flat earthers.
Get into it because of physics. Others get into it because of the space program. Almost no one gets into it because of the sun. So if you didn't get into it,
this guy's just making up lies. He's a dirtball.
Because of the sun. Why would you get out of it because of the sun? So
because it falsifies the map, Mark.
Our three people get down there, and two of them, Austin Whitson and Lisbeth Acosta, it's like, well, 24-hour sun, who cares? Let's go home. Which was why I wasn't going to go.
Right. I mean, let's just celebrate those people. Let's just bring them up and talk about it like that's a great thing. Yeah, they went down there and saw that their map doesn't work, their model doesn't work, their idea of flat Earth doesn't work, and they just said, who cares? And then they came back, and those should be celebrated. I added her to my show. She's my new co-host because she went down and saw that her belief is wrong, and she came back and said, fuck that, I'm going to believe what I want.
Told those guys, is like, listen, I'm the last person you want to go on this trip because I absolutely do not care.
Oh, you don't care? So Mark's in a good position as a flat earther. He does not care what the world does. Okay, he's just like Dean Odell. Dean Odell says he doesn't care if there's 65 suns doing whirlabouts in the sky. God's word is true.
But Sharon,
what Mark Sargent's point saying is that he doesn't care what the truth is. He's going to believe in his indoctrinated ideology and keep pushing it like a true grifter. So that shows right there that Mark Sargent is fully admitted to, well, everybody, at least on this, wherever this came from, that he's not interested in the truth. He doesn't want to know what the shape of the earth is. He's just going to make up lies. He's just going to lie and grift and push false narratives because that's what he wants to believe. And he's not interested in finding any kind of truth. So what that really says to me is that Mark Sargent knows Earth is a globe, but he wants to feel special because he's got nothing else in his life. And so he's going to keep pushing and pretending that the world is flat and they're being lied to because it makes him feel like he's got some special knowledge. And his mommy told him that he's a special little guy as he's eating his peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
So
last week.
A different tune.
Yeah.
Which was weird for us. And we didn't really understand why, because he's like, well, I have to tell the truth. And when I come back,
listen what he says.
I'm going to reevaluate everything. It's like, okay. You remember, he's OG. He's been there, since 2015. He came in.
Right.
He came to the group shortly after me.
And yeah, he's like a major, or was a major player in the flat Earth movement.
This video is the greatest technological accomplishment of all time. The single video of its construction. I think that's false anyways. And even then, the ISS was filmed before we had like digital cameras and shit like that. So, don't judge me for my spelling. What is this here? 12 years ago. What is this? This might be it. I imagine they got some sort of videos or some sort of tape or something like that. Of the ISS being constructed. Just see what this is. Space Shuttle Flight 93, STS-88 post-flight presentation.
Well, this is the STS-88 crew video. Endeavour is just a
which was something that allowed us to transport ourselves up and down the side of the node very efficiently. Then we went to work at the top of the node to...
It seems like there is video of them constructing the ISS.
It's a view from the end of the robotic arm and the camera located on it. And this view is now actually from the Russian module Zarya looking down on the arm as it comes into grapple. We actually didn't have that view in the cockpit. And so it was quite a unique experience to know that the ground was looking over our shoulder literally as we came in for the grapple. So we brought it down right over that grapple fixture, that long pin, and closed the snares that you saw in the earlier version to attain the grapple and rigidization process required to maneuver Zarya around. We were very, very happy after we grappled this 45,000-pound free flyer after Bob had literally flown formation with it at Mach 25. And then it was time to install Zarya on top of Unity. Again, we were operating almost at the limit of the robotic arm because the Unity module extended about 40 feet out of the payload bay, and so the arm was almost fully extended as we brought Zarya up and over Unity into the install position. We actually couldn't see the mating surface where it was going to mate, so we had to use cameras alone.
Sorry, I don't know if that's working. Hold on, look at that. So there seems to be videos of the ISS being built. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, look at this. Videos put up 13 years ago. Oh, so, I mean, these videos were around when, like, Mark Sargent and all them started Flat Earth. They said 10 years ago, right, 2015. Well, this was put up in 2012 on YouTube. Older than that. ISS is older than that, but yeah. Space Shuttle Flight 93, STS-88 post-flight presentation. Space Shuttle Flight 94, STS-96 post-flight presentation. Hold on. This seems to be International Space Station construction. Wow, interesting. So, what Mark Sargent said in his thing here, the greatest technological accomplishment of all time, not a single video of its construction, is demonstrably incorrect and proven so by a quick Google search, or YouTube search, ISS construction. Holy shit, look at that, eh? Yeah, we, that was easy. Fire Earthers. The only thing is they don't do any research. They claim that globers don't do any research. All we do is research. They freaking dunk on them.
He was one of the focal points in Behind the Curve, the documentary, along with Patricia Steer. And when he gets back, he starts making some videos that are say, well, he's not being shy about it. Well, Antarctic sun proves the globe. And
never said that, Mark. You are a liar. What you don't understand is people listen to you, and then they hear what you say and they believe you for whatever reason, I don't know. And then I have to go and hear people saying this about me out in the saying, oh, Jaron says it proves. I never said anything proves anything. I don't believe in proof. We falsified the flat Earth.
It's like, where are you going with this, right? And then in a very
falsified the flat Earth and validated the globe. You can say, okay, because science, there isn't proof, right? This either you falsified this model or this hypothesis, and you validated this hypothesis, and that is a hypothesis you go with, or the model, or whatever the conclusion you go with at that point, until something else comes along that's better, that works just as good or better than your current model or your current outcome what you have. So you do experiments, and then you come up with this. You do another experiment, you come up with you get the same results, and and that's what your conclusion is. And that's what you say is either you falsified something until something can come around to validate it, or you say this is our current understanding, and we validated these results that validated this understanding. So like we come up with like dark matter right now, right? Now dark matter is a placeholder because we still don't fully understand what's causing. We can see phenomena, we can see things happening a certain way, and we know okay, it's going to be more than just gravitational waves out there. There's something a bit more because gravity is the gravitational waves or gravity isn't accounting for all of what we're seeing. So there's something. This is what we've come up with so far. We have is dark energy and dark matter. Until something better comes up, that comes around, something that can explain it better, something that we can actually that can come up with it and works, then this is how far we got. Same thing with like quantum mechanics and stuff like that, right? String theory, right? That's another one where this is how we understand stuff so far. This is what we have. This is our current model. And this is our current understanding. So this is the results we've had that have been verified. Our hypothesis until something better comes along that can explain it in a greater detail and is more accuracy and can work better than what we have. Then you can say, okay, oh, we're wrong about that, or this part of that. Now this part here and this, and then you build on it, until eventually you have a full, complete understanding. And you know how things work. Gravity is one of those. We've tested. We know it. We've worked on enough stuff that we know how it works, right? We know how light travels, right? To the point where we know how to bend light, right? This is why glasses work. This is how we have televisions and stuff. We know how to manipulate and bend it, and we understand it well enough that we can explain phenomenon that we see. So like the whole thing, why we see stuff that's maybe a certain point, where sometimes you can see a bit more of it due to refractive index and stuff, and we can measure that and we know how it works. It's because we've done enough experimentation and hypotheses that have been validated or falsified to be able to come up with a full and complete model that we know how it works. And we've validated that by building things and making things and then going, okay, based on understanding, this should happen. And we go, oh, look, what our understanding is correct because what we expected to happen is happen. And what we expect to see, we see. So now we know that, okay, we got a pretty good handle on this. And this is how science and technology and stuff works.
Very short amount of time.
Now listen to what he says, and you guys have been watching me. Tell me if this is true.
He then flips over and does something way out of character, which is going, oh, and by the way, SpaceX and NASA and all the space programs are absolutely legit. The globe, the flat Earth is dead, blah, 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 long live the globe. It's like,
so he's saying I said that all the space agencies are legit. Again, these are just lies. Dirtball moves by Dirtball Man and his Dirtball pinball machine story.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard journalism say that all space agencies are telling the truth. He said that he's watched some SpaceX launches and gone, oh, SpaceX like launches and stuff makes sense and actually falsifies the flat Earth because he's watching it. He knows how far he should see it. Realizes that you can see when the SpaceX launch happens. You can watch like live, and he looks over towards where it should be, going, I don't see that. 12 seconds later, he sees it come up and goes, why can't I see that when the launch happened? I should be able to see it right away if the Earth is flat, or is it due to that the Earth is curved? Is a sphere? And there's curvature, and I say I'm waiting for the rocket to get above a certain altitude before I can see over the curvature. Which one seems to work? The globe. Okay, well then the SpaceX launches validate the globe and falsifies the flat Earth. He's not believing everything maybe the SpaceX is doing, or NASA, or ESA, or the Indian Space, or JAXA, and like that. But he knows at least some of the stuff they're doing seems to be working, and that makes sense. And it's objectively proving that the Earth is a globe. And I think that's, as far as I know, that's as far as Jaron has come up with when it comes to space agencies.
And fireworks.
What are you talking about? You're Jaronism. You wrote the book on how to trash space programs. Why do space programs have anything to do with Antarctica whatsoever? They don't. But
Right, I didn't come back and say that. I came back and started filming the rocket launch from Vandenberg because it's a real launch. The craft really goes up in the sky. Not a helium balloon. Goes up in the sky. I'm able to track it from 188 miles away and show that it doesn't show up on the horizon until a minute and 10. So that is reason to believe that if you then do the math and go, oh, well, if it's coming from behind the curve, if it's coming from the other side of the Earth, then that's when you would see it. So I'm not really sure how you don't get this.
He just made this.
Sorry, so that minute 10, I said, what, 12 minutes, whatever, minute 10. So he's done the math and realized, okay, if there's this curve at this rate, I should see it at this point. Oh, I do see it. If it's flat, I should see it right away. I don't. Okay, well, then there you are. He's took the observation that sees the rocket take off, doesn't see it till minute 10, and goes, all right, here's two models. Which one seems to match reality? If it's flat, I should see it at this. If it's curved, I should see it at this point. which one works. Okay, so now he's got two things, which one, and he's testing both and realizing one seems to be falsified, and observation he sees isn't conflicting, but the other one that seems to match, seems to work perfectly and work out. The globe works out. So there you are. So he's falsified the one model and he's validated the other model. At least when it comes to the shape and the atmosphere curvature.
This huge pivot over. And so at that point, we start looking, really carefully at him.
Mark, do you have a problem with the truth? Like, is it hard for you to just tell stories the way they really went down and not make so much conjecture and just add your own emphasis on things? You can't just make up your own stories. It's disgusting. Anyway, let's get past that one. So, Mark, you are by far this week, because of many things, the lies that you've told about Robbie, the lies that you've told about Patricia, okay, the lies that you've told about Paul on the plane, a friend of yours, and saying the most ridiculous things like you can't become, you can't go back on the globe, you can't go back to the globe. It's not possible. Dave Weiss said the same thing. You guys are in a world of cope. And let me just explain something, Mark, very clearly. Never will you wake up and the earth be flat. You have no map, you have no model, you have no claims, you have nothing. Mark, you are by far the derp for the week.
So you notice there, like the fact that even Mark Sargent, Jared Nissen was doing a review of 2 hours on live stream he was doing there. But even then, the whole time, Mark Sargent was doing that. All you had was a bunch of fallacious memes popping up. No evidence, no proof, no measurements. I've still been asking flat earthers all for ages, show me measurements of flatness of the earth. None have shown this. I've asked on TikTok for the last 2 years to show evidence of the flat earth. I even just said, just show me evidence. I want to see some sort of evidence. And all they ever show is just attempts to try to falsify the globe. They never show evidence of flat earth. They never try to test the flat earth. All they try to do is just deny the globe. And it really is quite sad. A lot of these grown adults that can't seem to think for themselves. Rather kind of sad and disappointing. But as my wife said, that there's an idiot born every minute in every country. Yeah, it's silly. But yeah, I'm gonna call it there. I wasn't paying attention to the chat here, Timothy. What do we have here? The final location. Pay very close attention. My global friends. This is by your all own claims. Oh, what is going on here, Timothy? Oh, we have somebody else. The drop over distance values for distance from 1 mile to 10 miles are roughly 1 mile. Or roughly 1 mile, 0.67 feet, 2 miles to 0.67 feet, 3 miles, 6 feet. Okay. 6 miles, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, let's drop off a tangent. He's so Timothy, you're describing 8 inches per mile squared. That which is a drop off of parabola off of a tangent, but that's not taking atmospheric conditions into account. Nor is it taking observer height. 8 inches per mile squared only works if you're laying at sea level, laying on the ground, and you're looking straight out. But it doesn't actually work on the in reality. It doesn't. That's not the true. That's not the true measurement. What's else here? The global believers. By global believers on belief and claims use a long-range drone with a gimbal holding a laser attached to the back of the drone. Place the laser facing behind the drone to the direction of the drone. The only thing is, we're seeing that is lasers are light and they are subject to atmospheric refraction and they bend towards the medium, and so that would actually just be it would actually, and also lasers diverge from their point. So the further you go out, the cone gets wider. Will be flown from fly the drone as low to the surface as possible. Check the laser's angle and height along the flight path of the drone, and once it reaches desired flight distance and its final location, pay close attention. Beloved friend, this is by your all's own claims and beliefs. As the drone and laser moves further and further away, the laser angle and height above its starting location would have to continuously increase, matching y'all's claims and beliefs. Physical globe curvature, it's a must happen. There's no arguing or denying that it's true fact. It shouldn't be any issue for you all global believers to supply physical evidence of your all's claims and beliefs of physical globe curvature. Yes, 100% always do. Here, since Timothy P. Southwick thinks that there is no globe proof, how about this? All right. Timothy, I want you to pay close attention if you're still in the chat. I don't know if you're still in the chat. But let's have a little fun here, right? All right. All right, let's see. Julio. Right. So, Mr. Timothy here, Timothy P. Southwick, you think, let's just go to my own channel. Okay, so I show my own observations. Where do I see? You want to see curvature? Okay, cool. I can do that. Not a problem. Let me just go to my videos. See here, where do we start? You see, Timothy obviously hasn't looked into my channel here because I have done all this. Let's see here. See here, where is it? Let me check out this one here, Timothy. Too bad I missed all that. I was too busy doing this, and I didn't look down at my chat. And I was actually able to do a few observations out across the bay, across the estuary. I think a bit of actually the Atlantic Ocean's in there, and I was able to see across to another kind of part of Wales that kind of sticks out, and show once again prove the curvature of the Earth across the water, and you can plainly see in this that there is, depending on elevation, that you'll actually see less pictures from in 10B hidden from my two different foot trail. It goes to fairly, a little bit lower than the caravan park, but yeah, that's off in the distance there. You can see the houses. Alright, so this is observation I did myself, something that flat earthers don't like to do. Right now, using a laser, lasers refract, right? Lasers will bend, you refract in the medium, and you bend towards the denser medium, as well as I said, lasers do diverge from their point of view. So the further you go out, the bigger. So while laser won't diverge as much as normal light, it's going to be a little more focused. It still does have a divergence, and the further you go out, the bigger that cone gets, the bigger that area and that round, that circle, and it'll go bigger and bigger and bigger, right? This is a known fact. This is a arbitrary, demonstrable, provable fact, right? And you can't deny it. So let's go with that. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do physical observations. That's what I did my second observations of sitting down on the beach. I'm still a little bit of ways, but I'm sitting down, so I'm on the ground here. Right. The first one I did, I was up on a hill. Now I've walked down the beach and gone down onto the beach instead of up on a cliff. Looking over the same area. The ocean's not wavy. Okay. There isn't waves. I'm a little bit further back. I'm above where any waves would be, but it was actually fairly, the tide was out. Wasn't due to come in for a while, and there wasn't massive waves out there, so it wouldn't be blocking my view. Look at the wave. There's no big freaking waves there. Just gonna hide in that side. So see that crap. Look at that. Barely anything. So yeah, it's not that close. Nice try. This is distance to 10B from Carmarthen Bay. So now I'm showing the distance, which sometimes flash earthers don't always show, but this is definitely the distance from where I was sitting and then looking out towards 10B. This is in South Wales. You're looking at about 15 miles there, give or take. And say about 15 miles, about half a mile, give or take here or there. So this is exactly where I was standing. Something flat earthers don't tend to like to show is the elevation. So it's 36 feet above sea level. Now where I went down, I was sitting at about sea level. The first observation, this is the altitude, and this is the second observation, and there's the altitude to show where it was taken from. So between those two, there's what, 16 feet difference. This is what I was looking at on the other side. There's some pictures of 10B to kind of show that a lot of the stuff that you've seen in my pictures, you'll see later on, are actually up off a cliff. They're up, not at sea level, they're actually quite high up. I think it's about 66 feet or more higher. So this is some of the things you'll see here. This is close-up pictures that you can kind of have a reference to look at, so you can notice how all these are quite high up on cliffs, right? So they're not even at sea level; they're quite high up. See that none of these are actually low down; these are all up, and you'll still see where it looks like it's on the horizon, but in reality they're not, and that's because the curvature of the Earth makes it looks like it's on the horizon, especially when I'm at a lower point of observations compared to the higher point. You'll see there's a lighthouse in this. It did all during the day, so you won't see the lighthouse lit up. I never did see the lighthouse lit up, so I don't know if it's not being used. First observation here, this is two, you see the same building. So here you are, I'm looking at for the same building. So here at the bottom here, you can see there, and you can see here it's the same building, right? Now, so this is lower down, and this is me standing up on the beach. Why is it that there's so much more difference, right? Now I can't see these guys here over here, right? Okay, but you can't see these two, and which they should be right here, right? You know where this person is? I can't see them, but yeah, I can see them here. But then also you can see how I got so much more of the cliff here, and here is less cliff. So what these two are, this guy here is actually right there. You can't see it, just below the horizon of just below the horizon. This is where the same sea. This is the Atlantic Ocean that comes here, comes into the bay. And right here you cannot see that, right? So this is the same observation. And you can't see that. You can't see this guy here either. This guy here should be over here. Can't see them, but you can see them there. This is due to the curvature of the Earth. It's 100%, and you're more than welcome to go and try to prove me wrong. But that is exactly what that is. You can see how there's less here, and then here you can't see that. So that gap there, gone. The same building. Buildings on the top picture there is the higher altitude, next is lower altitude, and you can see the buildings missing the lower altitude one. Here's again, same up and bottom. Here you are. The exact same. Now this is done the same day, right away. So I literally, this is maybe about 5 minutes apart. So yeah, I can't see this time. So here's the same island here. See here, comes down here, and here how it's a lot closer. You don't have that as much drop off there. Here, this is higher elevation, lower elevation. We lose it here. Anything here comes up here. Can't see that there, that there. It's just only a tiny bit there. This is due to the curvature of the Earth. You can see the horizon is closer to the ones at the bottom, some lower altitude. This is not the curvature of the Earth. Remember, all these are really high up on cliffs. There's a massive cliff there, and there's a beachfront there. You can't see that. Once again, lower elevation, same buildings. Look right there. Higher elevation, I can see more over the curvature because higher up, right? Higher up, you can see more over this curvature. Okay, so you're standing here, right? If I stand there, I can't see you. But if I move up a little bit, now suddenly I can see more, right? I'm closer, I can't see as much. Then we'll come up a bit more. I can see 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 a bit more. But it's still only a certain point, but I can still see a bit more. That's what that is. Earth and its water. These are physical observations I did myself. Using my own camera, and I'm going out and doing this at the beach. I was down the horizon's rising up closer to those, even though those are not. Once again, here's another one. Same buildings along here. You can't see this guy here. It's maybe the top there, a little bit of the roof right there, but the same camera, same zoom, same day, same location. I was up higher, and then I went down the beach, and I went down onto the beach. See, there's a tower there. See, there's a tower here, right? So it's the same tower, the same buildings. You can't see it's not. Okay, there's a tower there, right here. You can't see that building there. Missing. Below the curvature of the earth. On the beach at all, they're actually up in the cliff face. These are all. In fact, me seeing the when I'm further here, I'm actually tiny bit further back because I'm back on the I had to walk down on the beach to go down the beach and walk up and go up on the cliff. So I'm actually further back. So you can't say, "Ooh, it's convergence," because I'm further back. I'm actually closer at the one's lower elevation. So it's not convergence. Not how convergence works. Demonstrable proof of the curvature of the Earth is the only way that I'd be able to see more. You see further down. Once again, higher elevation, further back, I can see more. There's more gap here. Same buildings, less. Why is this? Because the curvature of the Earth, the horizon is coming up higher. It's coming closer to my eye level here. And here, because I'm up higher and standing up, I see it drops down a little bit. It's because as I'm higher up in altitude, I'm seeing the curvature of the Earth. Here is the observations to see what's expected flat Earth compared to. So you got flat Earth on the left side, and we got the and you should see the whole building, and on the right side we had the globe. The globe model, and as you can see, the globe model says there should be stuff hidden, which there is. This is now where I calculated for being lower down. And so here's lower down. See, so you should be able to see the whole thing. The horizon should go further back, but here, lower down, it's hidden. Even more is hidden. As you can see, it still works for the globe model and not for the flat Earth model. Let's do a lot of them because even this is now the Earth. I'd be able to see more. You see, even here, right? Even as higher up, there's still more cliff down further down and a beach down here, right? You can't see still below the curvature of the Earth. That's what I'm saying here. That's what I'm saying. There should be some still hidden. There's still some hidden on the curvature of the Earth, and that is because even then there's still bits still hidden. To the globe model, and as you can see, for being lower down, and as you can see, it still works for the globe model and not for the flat Earth model. Let's do a lot of demonstration here to kind of show and drive the point home. Here you are at the road outside, which obviously curves from left to right for drainage across the road. As you can see, going down, we can't see the curves on the side. But go up in altitude, you can. That's because as you go up in altitude, we're seeing over top of the curvature. Now here's what it would look like on a flat Earth. So you're going down and up and down, and you still see the same amount no matter what. So I'm just going to kind of show you here. In a minute here, I got some leaves there on the road, and I will show you me zooming them in and kind of sort of make them out. This is on a flat surface. The road's fairly flat, going one way, and obviously curves the sides for drainage. So zoom back in. I'm just using the same camera as I was using before. There's other observations. Now this is the same day. This is a few days later as we drove back from Wales. But that doesn't matter. It's showing proof of concept. One way was curvature disappearing. This way going straight in, and you can see the full amount. In, I went from something being small to now I was zooming it in. Now it gets bigger because we're changing the angular size by using zoom. Clear straight cleaning perspective causes things to disappear bottom up, but that's not the case. Here we are again, from one side to side, going down, and it seems like the other side has kind of disappeared. You can't see it anymore. So let's try to zoom it back in, because Flirts like to claim that all you gotta do is zoom it back in. You can zoom stuff back in, and it disappears over the curvature. But something still seems to be missing there. I can't seem to zoom that other side of the road in, or that curb, or the leaves. And hold on, let's just go up a bit more in altitude. Oh, there we are, a bit more. And, oh wow, look at that. See? So if I go up in altitude, over the curvature, you can see it. But if I go down, and everything seems to disappear bottom up again. test and see-through observations there, in which I showed, in which the top part of those pictures, which shows my high altitude observations, seeing stuff lower altitude observations, and we're completely able to prove the curvature of the Earth. I don't know why yours not showing up on here, Timothy, but let's see it. I chat's not showing up when it's in my videos. I had to click off. Well, look, Timothy, you're more than welcome to tag me in a video that proves your point. Above I started looking. Continues to increase, matching your claims. Not necessarily, depends, but remember, lasers are subject to refraction as well as they diverge as well, right? Reply with, yeah, okay. But the test, right. Well, I don't have a drone that can go that far out, so you're gonna have to find somebody else to do that. My drones, I don't have like thousands of dollars or pounds to put out for drones like that. I do have, as well as they are subject to refraction as well. Observation, yeah, observations don't cut it because they falsify your claims. So I'm sorry, but observations work perfectly fine. Now I know you know, but you're more than welcome to show me if I have physical evidence of y'all's claims and beliefs. Well, I just showed physical curvature obstructing buildings and cliffs on the other side. So that was a that is physical curvature. Physical globe curvature 20 times to 30 times beam expander works. They test and so-called debate simply provide physical evidence. I just showed physical evidence of curvature. I did myself. No, well, something was physically blocking those cliffs. So, you can say that, nah, all you like, but just like here, see how the road's physically blocking those, right? Just like right here. Well, something is physically blocking that, and look here, something is physically blocking this. Now, you can see optical, but I can't physically see that. I can't see that. So, something is physically blocking that. Just like that road. Something is physically blocking this. So there's something there stopping that from me being able to see it. And here on the bottom part, I'm closer than the top part here. So what all is physically blocking that? Because there's something blocking that. Ooh, I think. Black Swan. Black Swan is extreme refraction, and you look at different days, you can see that the Black Swan, and all the observations suit the globe and work perfectly fine. Hill House. Hill House. I love how flares bring up the where is Hill House? The Black Swan. I didn't transition it over. So are you talking something like this here? Oh, look, there's the Black Swan. The final analysis of Black Swan is still a globe. Holy crap. You want to watch this? Maybe we should watch this one, hey? I'll watch this one by Bob the Science Guy. You ready to have your Black Swan torn apart?
Well, hi everyone, and greetings from Northern Michigan. This is Bob the Science Guy.
Oh, would you look at that?
Years ago, this image, the Black Swan.
Look at that. Look at the refraction. Look at the distortion on that. How can you say that's a legitimate observation? Look at that. That is down to atmospheric refraction and extreme distortion due to higher refractive rates.
Swan image was just all the rage on the Flat Earth channels, and we still see it to this day. Now, I've addressed this several times before, and so have other debunkers. This is obviously an extremely refracted image, and you can't really tell too much from it. But all those treatments of the Black Swan involved people who actually understand science trying to correct the errors of those that don't. So for the last couple of weeks, what I've done is just basically set something up so that I could put this to rest once and for all. Now, the Flat Earth loves to have very low-to-the-water observations over relatively short distances, and then go out and claim it doesn't show any curvature of the Earth. So I decided to introduce the whiteboard and develop a technique to actually measure the refracted radius of the Earth from these very low observation points. Now, I not only did this so that I could better evaluate Flat Earth videos, I wanted some measurable evaluation of the refraction present. Now, the spherical shape of the Earth is not subject to debate. It is an established fact. The only thing it is subject to is refinement. So one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to have a talk with a prominent flat earther, and I chose Brandon Toy, probably because he's one of the more reasonable.
No, the laser wouldn't shoot into the sky because the laser would still be parallel to the surface of the Earth. So even if you find something here, even if you went over the surface of the Earth here and you came around like that, right? It'd still be parallel. It'd still be level to the surface of the Earth. It'd still be level to what's below it. Now, obviously, this is an extreme example because this would be obviously freaking thousands of miles wide. Right, but you get the point. You just come around here. It wouldn't be shooting into the sky because atmospheric refraction still affects lasers. Lasers still bend. Um. So, there's stuff like this here, which is, see this? Shooting here. How come the laser bends? Holy shit. What's going on there? Could it be due to, refraction in the water from different, the medium thickness? Yes, I think so. Wow, look at that. Eh. Like I said, lasers are not very good because they are subject to refraction. The laser, it wouldn't bend up like that. The laser would actually come and would perform here. We go back to Bob the Science Guy, who's going to still completely destroy your. He does it quite well, so.
Of them. I wanted to see if there was common ground as to whether or not we could agree on what a photograph showed. Specifically, this photograph. This is the famous black swan image that has been making the rounds on the flat Earth for the last few years.
Well, look,
all of that was leading up to this video.
I know you don't. You want to accept this.
Flat Earth
Come on.
Called the Black Swan. It's time to put it to bed. So let's cue up the music and crush the soul of flat Earth. Now, my discussion with Brandon was put out in the form of 2 videos that were released on Monday and Tuesday of this week. I'll refer you to those videos for a full detail of the discussion. But let's summarize the findings real quick. Now, the Black Swan image is a oil platform off the coast of California called Habitat. This is the photograph.
Come on, let's see Timothy. Let's watch the Black Swan.
Now,
let's
we're
watch.
Under agreement that this is 9.41 miles from the observer, and that the observer was at an observation height of 1 foot. We identified this deck right here as 57 feet above the water. We identified this deck at 40 feet above the water.
Timothy, how come we can't see below this deck here where people walk along? How come there seems like something's missing there?
We confirmed that the lowest point that we could physically see on this oil rig would be the area of the boat dock and the boat deck and the railing by the boat deck. The top of the railing is at 20.5 feet and the boat deck itself is at 15 feet. We agreed that at a minimum, 15 to 20.
All right, so the boat deck is 15 feet high, so why does it look like it's on the water? That's weird.
20.5 feet of this oil rig is missing from this photograph. We settled on splitting the difference. Now, while the obvious reason for this is Earth curvature, did try and make the case for compression. Now, compression is an optical effect. It would follow logically that if you are seeing extreme compression, you will see extreme optical effects. So you would probably expect to see the maximum amount of compression from a photograph like this. There are a couple of things that we do have to look at. The area of the flame boom right up here is extremely distorted. So are the upper areas of this oil platform. But if you look down at the bottom, and let me get out of the way here, there's a couple of key features that you can see. You have cross members right here. They're straight. Again, straight. Nothing like this flame boom up here. The other thing that you have here is these decks. Notice that that is a very straight line with a right angle on it. There are very straight lines here. Even this deck has got a nice right angle with relatively minimal distortion. Notice that the flame boom comes out and starts off fine and then suddenly looms up. Now, the other thing that's very important to look at in this image is these legs. Notice that the legs are very straight with no more distortion at the top than there is at the bottom. Now, the argument that is being made by the flat Earth is that even though these look pretty good, the bottom part of this deck and these legs are nice and straight and there's no compression visible in this area because these certainly are nice diagonals without a lot of bowing on them, that suddenly, even though we're fine here, we got a massive compression
Well, lasers still are subject to refraction, and the air has different pressure gradients, and the pressure gradients causes light to bend. I'm sorry, this is objectively the truth. I know you don't want to accept it. I know it hurts your little flirty feelings, but this is empirically proven. So as the light travels through the air, which is a medium, as it hits different pressure densities, like cooler air above like water and stuff like that, it will bend down towards the denser medium. I showed something like the light bending in something like water, and that is just simply down to the fact that it can show it over a shorter period measurement, a shorter space to see, or you can see it more exaggerated. But this is still exactly what happens in the air, just over a longer distance instead of over just like a short distance, like maybe here 3 feet. It could be over maybe 3 miles.
Compression right here in the bottom 15 to 20 feet must be hidden in that compression. Now, it should be noted that I brought this up with Brandon during the course of the interview, and I was very concerned about these legs down here. Brandon tried to make the case that there was significant distortion on this portion of the leg compared to that portion of the leg. I do believe that looks pretty straight to me. How's it look to you? Now, the question becomes is he saying it's distorted because that's his narrative, and the fact that these are not distorted is rather devastating to that narrative? I would think so, because I think he has trouble seeing this. Those legs are not distorted. There is no indication that we would have essentially no distortion or compression here, and then suddenly go into massive compression just a few inches below it. Now, secondly, the author of the original Black Swan video has been trolling me in my comments on this.
Bob destroys you.
The fact that I used a photograph in a previous video that had been misidentified.
As for running, I mean,
it was actually Platform Hill House rather than Habitat. Hill House is the next one over. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But rather than concentrate and try and refute.
I mean, you can see him running, but honestly, I'm not even funny, mate. But it is like 1:23 in the morning, and I got things to do. But we'll hurry up and crush this for you.
My argument that there is 15 to 20 feet of this platform.
You can keep saying lasers, lasers, lasers all you like there, Buttercup. Guess what? It ain't gonna freaking help you because I've already proven that lasers are subject to the refractive index of the air, as well as lasers diverge from their source.
Missing. He concentrated on trying to.
I already proved the curvature, so you can keep saying not all you like. I still proved the curvature.
Photograph. The problem with the flat earth is mocking is really all they have. Now, I've left the vast majority of them up except ones that were direct personal attacks against me. Now, he's not tried to counter my arguments in any way other than saying, well, he sees the entire platform. There's nothing missing. Even though Brandon and I very clearly demonstrated that there is at a minimum 15 to 20 feet of this platform missing, he's maintaining the party line that there is absolutely none of this platform missing. You can see it all except for things that were compressed for reasons. He hasn't offered any of those reasons, and he hasn't evaluated the photograph. As I noted a few minutes ago, compression is an optical effect. It's a distortion. This is a very distorted photograph. We should expect to see maximum compression in something like this. Now let's have a look at this undistorted photograph taken from approximately the same elevation and location as the first. On the left, you see platform Habitat. Behind my fat head, you see platform Hill House. Let's have a look at Habitat very closely. Now I want to call your attention to that deck right there. Sticking out from the side of Habitat, below the flame boom, there is a very prominent deck sticking out. Brandon and I looked at that. The bottom of that deck is 40 feet above the water. Now, let's see it on a non-refracted image. Notice anything different?
Oh, dear.
There's the deck, right?
Oh, dear. Look. Oh, look at that. Timothy, look at that. Oh, look. The refractive index is, like, not nearly as bad there. Holy crap. And look at that. Oh, no. How'd that happen? Oh, look at that. Oh, dear. Oh, look at that. Oh, and atmospheric refraction is not normal and not completely, and not like a really obscure day. It's well, how'd that get higher up? Timothy, what happened? What happened? What happened there? Oh no! Oh, somebody just got a globe smacked. Oh dear me! Oh. Oh no! It's gone. Oh, oh, what? Bob was pointing at it. Oh, oh. Globe probed. Globe probed. Yep. Timothy, I'm waiting for something. Proof. Flat Earth proof provided. Have any idea? All right. Let's keep going here. Look at that. Oh no, what happened? What happened? Where to go? Oh no. Oh.
Right there.
Oh.
The water. Where are the
Bet you that
rest of the structures
stings,
below
doesn't
that?
it?
Notice too that the horizon is very smooth. There's no false horizon behind platform habitat.
Ah, bet you that stings, isn't it? Poor Timothy.
Notice too that the horizon is clearly between us and platform habitat. So again, where are all these structures down here? You can see that
Oh no.
right there.
Oh
we
no.
can't see any of this. Now here's the bottom line.
Oh, look, extreme refraction.
This is a very refracted photograph. That photograph?
Oh, look at that. Not extreme refraction, more normal refraction. Look at that. Oh, curvature.
Not so much. So even though this is a far better and clearer photograph with fewer optical effects and compression, we're missing more of that platform.
I absolutely
Why is
did.
that? If we are missing platform.
I absolutely wrecked you. You just got absolutely globe probed. Globe probed.
Due to compression. There is less compression here than there is here. Yet, we're missing more of the platform here. That rules out that compression is causing this platform to vanish from the bottom up. It's simply an untenable hypothesis. That's Earth curve. But wait, there's more. We have math. Now, what's normal given the radius of the Earth and standard atmospheric refraction? Once again, let's go to Walter Bislin's advanced Earth curve calculator. We're going to go down here and put in the basic data for the habitat observation.
Oh, Timothy, I did provide evidence already. I already done it. I already showed it to you. Did you miss it? No, you didn't miss it. I already showed you curvature. I already proved it. Sorry, buddy. My little flirty friend. You keep taking that copium. Don't overdose though, right? Just sip on it. Just keep sipping.
On spherical Earth, imperial measurements, 1 foot elevation, 19.
Oh, I'm not playing games there, buddy boy. Sorry there, Muffin. I know it hurts. I know it stings. It stings, you know. The globe probing. I mean, are you a first timer? Okay, I've taken many V cards.
And the height of the target is 90 feet to the helipad on habitat. How much of that should we see, given?
I can show you more. Do you want to see some more observations? I got more. I got lots. This destroys a flat Earth.
Standard refraction. We should see 54 feet. There should be about 36 feet hidden. Now, again, let's look at that image.
Oh, no, I showed evidence. Where's yours? I still don't see your evidence. I don't see any of your evidence. Where's your evidence? I haven't seen nothing yet. Poor kid. Oh, no. You want to see some more? I mean, I should keep letting Bob just destroy you. Huh? Do that test. You know, I've already done tests like that. I've already debunked the flat Earth test like that. So, oh, how about this one? Yeah, you'll like this one. Here, let's just switch this over. Come on, let's see here. Observations are 100% physical evidence, but hey, you keep telling yourself that, Buttercup. No, I can show evidence. Let's see here. Here we are. Here's some evidence.
Ship would be significantly higher than that. Now, for those of you that don't understand how perspective works, before the waves could block the ship from this viewing elevation, they would have to be higher than my elevation, and we're simply not seeing 8-meter waves or 8-meter swell out there. The ship is disappearing due to the curvature of the Earth.
Oh, look. Oh no. Oh, what happened there? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, hold on, wait a minute.
Is disappearing due to the curvature of the Earth.
Oh, it's just, I think that's a P1000. Oh no, look at that. Oh no. Where'd it go? Oh no, bye-bye. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's a boat. Oh, where's it going? Where's it going? Oh, bye. Oh, it's going over the curvature of the Earth. Oh no, it's sinking. Oh no. It's sinking. Oh no. Oh. Hanzo, I think he's ran away. I don't need to do your stupid test. I could just observations are much better.
On the beach.
Oh no.
At Hope Cove. With my back against the harbour wall, trying to stabilise myself.
I love it if flips do that.
And that one appears to have stopped.
Oh, here's one.
This is time-lapse footage taken of a sailboat going most of the way over the horizon on San Francisco Bay.
See this.
Additionally, one can see at various points the tips of sails from other boats going by on the horizon. These observations are consistent with the hypothesis that the water surface is curved upward between me and the boats, and inconsistent with it being flat, since the hull and about half of the sail disappear behind the water as the boat moves away.
I think you're running away.
The raw footage is about an hour long and is linked in the description. To create the video you see here, I first edited out all the parts where the boat could not be seen, usually because of another boat blocking the view, or me failing to keep the camera pointed at the target. Then I used automatic video stabilization software to reduce the shakiness of the image, since otherwise the time-lapse is hard to watch. Finally, I sped it up to 10 times normal speed.
Oh, you're running away. No, but look, this is a good part. Don't run. Don't run. Timothy, don't run. Don't run. But this is a really good part. You'll like this part. I like this part. Watch this. You'll love this. Watch. Watch. Oh, 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 oh. Okay. Oh, where's that? Where's the where's the rest of the boat? How come I see less and less of it? Timothy, don't run. Don't run away. I'm having too much fun playing with you. Come on. This is fun. Enjoying this. Oh, look at that. Oh, no. Look at that. Where's that going? Oh, no. Yeah, I wish flat earthers should do their own bloody observations, do their own experiments. Why are you always asking people to live in the globe to do observations to falsify? Well, how do we do observations to verify the flat Earth? How do we do observations to verify to prove the flat Earth? Why don't you test the flat Earth? How about that? How about this? Sunsets. There you go. One laser. How about light? How about that? Sunset. Sunset falsifies flat Earth. There, right there. Sunset, disappearing bottom up, falsifies the flat Earth. You just can't explain that on your flat Earth. You can't. It just doesn't work. It has to stay above. It has to go to the little tiny pinprick. It doesn't do that. So, oh, look at that. Oh no! Look, Timothy. Oh, look. Wait, I'll pause it. Hold on. Let me just make it bigger. Oh, come on, pause. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Where's the rest of the boat? Oh no! You can see just a little bit. Oh no! Where'd the rest of it go? How come? I mean, this guy didn't move on the boat. How come you can see less of it? Oh no! Timothy. Oh, where'd it go? I can't make it bigger on here. Oh no! Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, Hanzo, I think he ran away. He's ran. I was having so much fun. I got a flirt in my comments. It's awesome. No evidence.
This footage was recorded on February 23rd, 2018, starting at 3:43 p.m. The camera was at Pier 14 in San Francisco, about 15 feet above the water. When I started filming, the boat was somewhere near Angel Island. Then it went toward the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge, and finally docked at the Richmond Yacht Club, which is about 7.8 miles from Pier 14.
Oh, 7 miles. Oh, no.
The red line on the map indicates my rough estimate of its path. Plugging these numbers into the Metabunk curvature calculator yields a hidden height of 4 to 6 feet, depending on refraction. Let's compare that to the video. Here I have taken a frame from 446 and inset a portion of a frame from 015. I sized the inset so the difference in heights of the two masts are about the same. Comparing the inset image to the water crest in the outer image, I estimate 6 to 8 feet are obscured, which agrees with the curvature prediction to within the measurement precision, particularly in the presence of such a large zone of refractive distortion. Furthermore, this comparison makes it clear that the water cannot be flat, since in that case a distant boat would be higher in the image when compared to the water crest, not lower.
There you have it. All those cameras are fully zoomed in, and guess what? Those boats disappeared over the horizon, and we're not able to be zoomed back in. So all those claims you see are just utter BS and nonsense. And because when the boat's over the horizon, that's it. You don't see it again unless it comes back into view. Turn around, come back. Fair enough. But that schooner there comes back over the horizon because when those come back, there's no edge of the earth. It doesn't pull off the earth. Tears. It's more flat earth tears. So tasty. That's awesome. He's a low level flare for him. He was just a baby flare. Alright. Well, honestly, it is like 1:41, and I promised my wife I wasn't gonna be doing that freaking like 3-4 o'clock in the morning thing again. So, man, I can't believe I didn't see him as soon as I did. No. I'm gonna have to get my chat up or something somewhere better. Honestly, I've never had many people in there, so. Oh shit. Do we how much is left? I don't want. Okay. We're gonna finish Bob real quick here, and we'll go to bed. Okay. All right. Done. Unless more flares want to pop in the.
We should see 36 feet hidden. The platform right here is 40 feet above the surface of the water. And quite frankly, the horizon right here is about 36 feet. So that's the situation under normal refraction. What about here? Again, we have the platform at 40 feet, and we're seeing an extra 20 or 25 feet. Now, this area right here is the walkway at the boat ramp. Let's have a look at this and see what kind of refraction we're dealing with. Now, I'm going to demonstrate a couple of things here real quick, but first, what I want to do is clear up a common misunderstanding that I see on flat Earth channels all the time. There is this idea that there is a geometric horizon to the Earth if it is a sphere of radius 3959. And that geometric horizon says that if you are 1 foot off the ground, your horizon is 1.22 miles away. Now, what the claim is that if you are observing from 1 foot above the ground, your horizon can be no more than 1.22 miles away. That's wrong. That's a complete misunderstanding of what refraction does to your horizon and what a geometric versus a refracted horizon is. Let me show you. If you have the Earth as a sphere, that will have a geometric horizon, and that geometric horizon, given the size of our Earth, will be 1.22 miles away from an observer height of 1 foot. Now, refraction has the effect of making the Earth larger, increasing the radius, and as a result, it's not 1.22 miles anymore, it's longer. So, in general, the rule is the geometric horizon is not the maximum distance to the horizon, it is the minimum distance to the horizon. The geometric horizon is determined by the radius. Brandon, and all of the data into play and see what this tells us. Now, whenever you try to solve a problem in applied mathematics, the first thing you have to do is say, what are your givens? So let's look at our givens for the black swan image. Here we go. Given number 1, the observer height is 0 feet because that's the way our formula works. Number 2, the Earth is a sphere and it has an unknown radius of r. Number 3, now the unknown radius can be determined mathematically by saying distance squared to the platform minus the hidden height squared over 2 times the hidden height is our radius. And finally, number 4, a flat surface is the same thing as a sphere of radius infinity. So basically, if the Earth is flat, when we calculate the radius, it will come back at infinity. If the radius comes back as anything other than infinity, it's not flat. So let's go ahead and do the math. We had 2 estimates of the hidden height. Brandon was favoring 15 feet hidden. I was favoring 20.
Bob, you're using math. Flat earthers don't like math. Yeah, Bob's using like math here. Flips really hate math. They don't like math very much at all. It hurts their little flirty brains.
Feet hidden. So if it's 15 feet, the radius of the Earth is 15,584 miles. If it's 20 feet, the radius is 11,688 miles. Now, the average of those is 13,360 miles. Now, we'll use those in just a second, but I do want to point out one thing right now. First of all, it's not infinity. The Earth is not flat. The black swan conclusively demonstrates that as distorted as that photograph is, and as of limited use as it is, it conclusively demonstrates that the Earth is not flat. Now, before we go to the calculations, let's look at one thing that you see in the Flat Earth a lot, and that is Quantum Eraser and company claiming that the black swan...
Oh dear, look at that, eh? Bob's already disproven the flat Earth and falsified it. Oh no. This globe spect.
Swan says the rate...
Globe probed. Round pounded.
Radius of the Earth is 260,000 miles. Now this demonstrates two very basic misunderstandings of the flat Earth. Number one, the orbit of the moon is about 240,000 miles away. The radius of the Earth by definition cannot be larger than the orbit of the moon, or else the moon would be orbiting within the Earth. This is an impossible number. That should be your first clue that you did something wrong. Now the way that they got this number was actually rather simple. They took the 1 foot observation and they estimated that the horizon was some 10 miles plus away. They used 10 miles. They came up with 268,000 miles. Now, where did they get the horizon being 10 miles away? Let's have a look. Now, here's where their confusion comes in. Here is the black swan image, which was colorized by QE to bring out the contrast. Now, notice that you have water right here. Then the water changes color suddenly between here and here. Then the water changes color again, going to this light blue up to about here. And then it changes color again and comes up to here. So where exactly is the horizon here? Now we're going to answer that conclusively here in a few minutes. But because they are seeing what appears to be an horizon beyond the platform, they seem to think that that concludes that the horizon is at least 10 miles away, and at a 1 foot observation that would come back to a radius of the Earth of 268,000 miles. There's a couple of problems with that. First of all, if the horizon was indeed behind the platform, nothing would be missing on the platform. There is 15 to 20 feet of that platform missing. By definition, that means the horizon is between the observer and the platform. It's not beyond it. So what is this out here? This is a fata bromosia. It's also called fairy fog. This is a very well-described optical phenomenon caused by refraction. And as a matter of fact, if you looked at my Titanic video, it figures very prominently in that video. So if you want a better explanation of what the fata bromosia or fairy fog is, go have a look at that video. And make sure you hit like and subscribe while you're there. So anytime you hear the claim that the black swan means that the Earth's radius is 268,000 miles or some nonsense like that, that's how it happened. That's the mistake they made. And it occurred because they made assumptions they couldn't make. Specifically that the horizon was past the oil rig. It is not. Let's find out where it really is. Now, I promised you some math, so let's go back to our old friend, Walter Bisslin's Advanced Earth Curve Calculator. And we'll put in the data for habitat. Now, recall from the problem, our observer height is 0 feet. Now, we can't put a 0 in here, but as you can see, that's quite a small number. We have standard refraction. Our distance to the target is 9.41 miles, and the target size is 90 feet. Now, recall, the reason that we're putting in 0 refraction is that we calculated the effective radius based on our measurements. And it says here that with a 13,000 mile radius, which is midway between 15 and 12, we should have 17.5 feet missing. So everything works out, except there's a problem, and that is that the photograph was not taken from 0 feet elevation. It was taken from 1 foot elevation. So we're going to change that. And let's go back down here, and lo and behold, we should only have 10.5 feet missing. What's the problem there? So what we need to do is we actually need to revise the radius of the Earth to match what we saw in reality. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to go down here, and instead of having 13,000 miles, we're going to put in 9,000 miles. And that gives us a hidden height of 16.78 feet. Okay, so now we've matched the observation. So we got a very good idea of what was going on, and now we've matched the observation based on a change from the given, and that is the observer height from 0 feet to 1 foot. So disregarding all the distortion and everything, if the Earth had a radius of 9,000 miles and we took a photograph of habitat from 1 foot elevation, that's how much of the platform we would see. That matches our observations. So let's go back here and have a look at another thing. How far away is the horizon? Well, there it is right there. 1.85 miles. So, if the Earth had a radius of 9,000 miles and we were at 1 foot of elevation, the horizon would be 1.85 miles away and we would see approximately 17.5 feet of that platform missing. So far, we're right on the money. Now, we can take this and leave it exactly as it is, except we can go ahead and have a look at Platform Hill House. Now, 1 foot elevation, not changing the refraction, not changing anything else. We're going to change the target distance from 9.41 miles to 6.21, which is how far it is to Hill House. Hill House has also got a helipad at 90 feet. Now, let's go down and see what we have. And according to this, we should have approximately 5.5 feet of Platform Hill House missing. Let's go see what we actually see. Now we can do something kind of cool with the image. First of all, here is the image of platform Hill House from the Black Swan photo. One of the things that Brandon and I did when we looked at the Black Swan image was we also looked at Hill House. Now we couldn't really agree as to whether or not any of this platform is missing. However, that's because I didn't push the issue. Now I'm going to push the issue. Here is the boat deck, which is 15 feet above the surface of the water. This deck right here is 40 feet above the surface of the water. The difference between the two is 25 feet. Now, if I take this image and cut a little piece of it out, like so, I have a nice measurement of 25 feet. Let's go ahead and bring that down to right here. Now, if you line the top of this section up with that catwalk, it is 25 feet from the catwalk down to here. That means that halfway would be 12.5 feet, and halfway would be about right there. Now, if the horizon was where my cursor was, I'd only have 2.5 feet missing. However, as you can tell, the horizon is above my cursor. So that 5.5 feet that is predicted based on a 9,000 mile diameter of the sphere, that's looking pretty darn close. I think that 5.5 feet missing is a very reasonable estimate based on this. The idea that this is caused by compression is simply dismissed as untenable. The idea that there's no platform missing on Hill House is also dismissed because we just demonstrated it. The amount of refraction that occurred at the time of this photograph corresponded to a radius of the Earth of 9,000 miles, not 268,000 miles. And it not only works for habitat, it also works for platform Hill House. Not only is this not a globe Earth killer, it absolutely rules out the possibility of a flat Earth being demonstrated with this.
Oh dear, so Bob just kind of proved that the Black Swan observation that Timothy was referring to validates the globe. Oh dear me.
Photograph. So even though it's extremely blurry, both Hill House and Habitat demonstrate a spherical Earth. Now, the refraction radius of that Earth is 9,000 miles, and the actual radius of the Earth, of course, is 3,959 miles. The best thing that could be said about this Black Swan image is that it's a spherical Earth, and the radius is in question. It may be larger than we were taught by them. So to be honest with you, I don't expect to hear any more of the Black Swan. I hope other debunkers see this proof and just basically shut it down, because it's time it got shut down. So this is Bob the Science Guy signing out from Northern Michigan. Thank you again for stopping by. I really do appreciate your support of this channel. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe down there, and check out my videos. Take care, guys.
Mama, please make them heavy.
Oh dear. So yeah, that's his Black Swan thing brushed right there. Flat Earth, what was the other thing he's trying to say? What else do we have here? Oh, look at that. Lasers are distinguished from other light sources by their coherence and their frequency waveform identical to that output being the narrow beam. They still form a light and exhibit the same characteristics as other light sources. Flat earthers assume lasers always travel in a straight line, not affected by a medium. They use their incorrect assumption in their experiments to prove a flat earth. In reality, other light sources, atmospheric refraction can bend laser beams. There we are, straight from I was looking for laser beams. I'll give it another 5 minutes. I don't think he liked it when I showed him lasers bending downwards. Did he? I really think he didn't like that at all. I think Timothy kind of lost it a little bit when he showed him this. It was, oh, look at that. Lasers bending. Oh, dear me. He didn't like that, did he? I was like, yeah, guess what? Lasers bend up to the freaking bell end. That's funny. And he ran away. You ran away. Why did you run away? Oh, even I started asking for evidence and then they ran away. They always run away whenever I ask them for flat earth evidence. Yeah, see? Laser beams experience refraction in the atmosphere due to variations in the area's refractive index caused by temperature, pressure, and humidity, leading to distortions and fluctuations in the beam's path and intensity. Here's a more detailed explanation. The Earth's atmosphere is a uniform medium. Its density and refractive index may vary with altitude, temperature, pressure, and humidity. When a laser beam travels through the atmosphere, it encounters these variations, causing light rays to bend or refract, deviating from a straight path. He thinks that the laser being, Timothy thought them being on a drone would somehow do that, but that's stupid. It was a stupid experiment. Remember, this flat earther is Timothy P. Southwick. That I should be putting a regular open air doesn't cut it. It's not. They provide physical evidence of your claim, which I did provide him physical evidence of the claim. The test provide physical evidence for your claims and beliefs of physical globe curvature 20 times or 30 times beam expander. Just use a long-range drone with a gimbal holding a laser attached to the back end of the drone. Place the laser facing behind the drone in the direction of the drone. Where the drone will be flown from. Fly the drone as low to the surface as possible. Check the laser's angle and height along the flight path from the drone, and once it reaches the desired flight distance and is found this location, pay very close attention, my clever friend. This is your all's claims and beliefs. As the drone and laser moves further and further away, the laser angle and height above it, starting location, would have to continuously increase, matching your all's claimed and believed physical globe curvature. It's a must happen. There's no arguing in denying this true fact. It shouldn't be any issue for all globe believers to supply physical evidence of your all's claims and belief of physical globe curvature, which I absolutely fucking did. I am here just I'm here just waiting for to hear you all reply. The attempt to do, and now waiting for you all to do that test. Like he says, I can sitting here on a computer, suddenly do the freaking like fly a long range drone, which I don't own, with a laser, which I do, a long ways away, close to the ground, and expect like go at topography not to freaking get in the way, or what? Would the curvature would it eventually get to the point where you couldn't see it? Well, possibly, depending on the refractive index. Where am I doing this? Am I doing this over open water, where there's a high refractive index? Or am I doing this over like the dry salt flats? Or maybe I don't live anywhere near dry salt flats. So he's asking me to do a stupid freaking experiment Why doesn't he go out and do it himself? I tell you why, because flat earthers are lazy. They're lazy people. They much rather sit on YouTube and watch YouTube videos and believe what some other guy is telling them who's never actually done an experiment in their freaking life. But yeah, so back to what I was saying. This is causes refraction, temperature gradients, stuff like that. Okay, affects the laser on the laser beam. Okay, so warmer air. So you know, okay, beam wander. Refraction can cause a laser beam to wander or deviate from its intended path, making it difficult to accurately point or track the beam. Beam distortion. Atmospheric turbulence can distort the wavefront of the laser beam, leading to changes in beam size, shape, and intensity distribution. Scalination. The variations in atmospheric refractive index can cause a laser beam to appear to twinkle or fluctuate in intensity, a phenomenon known as scalation. Scalination. Don't do that. Attenuation. Refraction can also lead to the loss of power in a laser beam as it travels through the atmosphere, especially at longer distance. The starlight twinkle, like starlight twinkling of a star is a common example of atmospheric refraction, where the light from the distant star is refracted as it passes through the Earth's atmosphere. Laser range finding. A laser range finding system. Atmospheric refraction can introduce errors in distance measurements, especially at longer ranges or low elevation angles. Oh dear. Atmospheric optics. Atmospheric refraction plays critical role in many atmospheric optic phenomena, such as mirages and apparent shapes of the sun and moon and the sunset. Mitigation. Adaptive optics. Adaptive optic systems can be used to compensate for atmospheric turbulence or dynamically adjusting the shape and a deformable mirror to correct for the distortions of laser beam's waveform. Choosing appropriate laser wavelength can help to minimize the effects of atmospheric absorptions and scattering. Atmospheric models. Accurate atmospheric models can be used to predict and correct the effects of atmospheric refraction and laser beam propagation, because they do propagate. Considerations for atmospheric refraction and laser ranging. Right, so that's it. Yeah. I don't even know if I have my stuff on here, but I debunked Nathan Thompson and his stupid stuff, but all right. You know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll call it now. All right. Never mind. Anybody wants to be interested, check out my channel here. I have loads of evidence here of the the globe Earth and all the different things, as well as I crush a bunch of the flat Earth claims and stuff like that as well. And I do make new ones here as often as I can. Obviously, the latest one is exposing flat earthers videos for deceptive lie it is. Which they tried to use a coin to try to show how the sunset would work on a flat Earth, but they decided to put the camera below the table. So instead of the camera being like here, see my hands at the table, instead of being like there, they put it here, and then they try to say how, but like there, and then try to say how things. It's stupid, right? So I do their test, but I do it the proper way, show how it doesn't work at all, and then I show a kind of a similar sort of thing that they do, but I use what looks closer to how the sun sets below something, and then I show actual real sunsets, and it shows that my observations, my test looks closer to reality than the flat Earth test. Because once again, the sun does not change angular size as it sets or rises or throughout the day. Which even throughout the day, if you took a picture with a solar filter just after, like, see, early in the morning, and like every so often, like different hours of the day. The sun should go from start here, the sun should go like that, go bigger, go over top at noon, like that, and then it should start doing this and getting smaller and smaller as it moves away from you. It doesn't do that. So the sun itself debunks flat Earth. Check out my channel, subscribe to me, and so you can get some more here. You never know, making some more flips in here, eh? That'd be quite kind of fun. That was awesome. Timothy, he can come back and chirp in the comments again if he wants. I didn't mute him or anything like that. If I was in Mikey Smith's live, he would have freaking muted me. Yeah. Didn't mute him. I did respond to him. Have a little fun, and that's that. So yeah, awesome. Thanks Hanzo for being in there with me. It's always funny to watch a Flurth. I didn't expect a Flurth being here. Obviously, I thought, you know, only a small channel, like tiny, but hey, I'm working at it. All right, that is it. I'm out. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I will see you all again. Bye. Oh, and stay curious.
NASA lies, yeah, that's what I say. Don't have proof or facts in any way. I claim the moon's made of plasma, a place no one can go. The Apollo program's a scam, I can't back it up though. They talk about the ISS is floating in space. You ask me in a pool, I'd say is the case. Satellones in the sky held up by helium balloons. But bro, that's just a lie, cause that's what all bitches do. NASA lies is something I'll never prove. No facts, no evidence, debates I will lose. They say they've been to the moon, I say it's not the truth. I see truth in no way, I hate MC2 when he shows me proof. The firmament is real, a dome up above, but I'll never prove it, so lost that I'm dumb. I know the world is flat, trust your sense of sight. Saying gravity's just a theory is why I'm up at night. NASA is phony like a show or movie, fake like on stage. Truman Show, child's play, it's just but suck at this game. Because I'm just a dick with only my stupid self to blame. But I'm so fucking sure that the earth is flat, based on how I feel. With my pop of flare, swear my blind faith is what keeps it real. NASA lies is something I'll never prove. No facts, no evidence, debates I will lose. They say they've been to the moon, I say it's not the truth. I see truth in no way, I hate MC2 when he shows me proof. Asking the wrong questions, my beliefs are all faith-based. I can't see the fucking answers right in front of my face. Stanley Kubrick is mentioned every single goddamn time. Somehow he filmed it without nobody dropping a dime. The firmament is a dome, it keeps water in the sky. But when you ask me to prove it, I can't know why. NASA in Hebrew, it means to lie or deceive. My Flurf priest told me and blindly I believe. NASA lies is something I'll never prove. No facts, no evidence, debates I will lose. They say they've been to the moon, I say it's not the truth. I see truth in no way, I hate MC2 when he shows me proof. Spreading misinformation and lies willfully, so proud. Like Nathan Thompson yelling at strangers so loud. NASA's lies, people, space is fake and Earth isn't round. Oh shit, the fathers and husbands stop me into the ground.
Asking the wrong questions, my beliefs are all faith-based. I can't see the fucking answers right in front of my face. Stanley Kubrick is mentioned every single goddamn time. Somehow we filmed it without nobody dropping a dime.
The firmament is a dome, it keeps water in the sky.